Welcome, everybody, to the Devil's Work podcast, the podcast where a me, Skeptic, and a he, PsydeShow guide you through the most twisted, depraved, fucked up, even French films that the world has to offer. And today we're diving into the 2002, arguably classic, In My Skin by
Oh,
Marina Devon.
and Jesus Christ, when I learned that she's starring in it too, I was like, what the fuck, dude?
She really reminded me of God, what's the movie, the other French movie we
Oh,
watched?
Trouble Every Day.
Thank
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah,
much,
yeah,
God.
yeah. Claire Denis. Yeah,
Yeah, they the
yeah.
gap teeth really is like, and I mean that
Oh,
respectfully.
dude, like
It's
the
a very
minute,
trademark look.
dude,
So
the
it
second she
reminded
was
me.
on scene, I was like, on the screen, I was like enthralled. I was like, oh, you are gonna be something else during this movie. Like I could feel it. And then yeah, sure enough, as it goes on, I was just like, dude, I was like squirming watching this. I was like
It's a
covering like
very squirmy, wormy kind of movie.
yeah,
It's a
dude.
very
And that's the thing, like I was that's the thing, but like during the course of the runtime, I was like squirming and I was like, oh, this is fucking mad uncomfortable to watch. And then there was a point where I just fell in love. Like
mm.
the entire way through, I was just like, oh, I'm absolutely in love with every aspect of this movie, like every aspect of it. So I'm very excited because it was the first time I'd ever seen this one. I know we had talked about
Yeah, I hadn't
it
ever seen this
before.
movie either. This was just a random. I just said it's been a while since we've seen a
Oh,
French movie, and I've heard of this one. And maybe because every single thing you look up about this movie is like not to be confused with the movie The Skin I Live In.
yeah,
like and
that's
like
so funny.
like in the middle of synopses, it's like, by the way, Antonio Banderas is not in this film. Like if you're wondering when he comes in, it's the
It's the
wrong
other
movie.
skin movie
Yeah.
of the like several we're going to cover on this podcast.
Yeah, I think there's also Under the Skin.
Under the skin, yeah.
Yeah, Under
Ah.
the Skin. I apologize for that. It's not okay to do crab voices anymore. I saw it and I went for it. I'm sorry.
So, no, I mean, okay,
Though in
like
my defense, when you're in Jamaica, they make you do it. I'm so serious. Like straight
I
up, they're
know.
like,
I mean, you take vacations out there.
I've only gone twice, but it's wonderful time both times.
It's amazing.
Really good weed.
Yeah, I like. I'm telling you though, like this movie, it genuinely gripped me. Like it's been a while since something like has made me feel this way, and it's so funny because it's another new Extremity movie, and it's like, duh,
It's so
duh, I
funny
fell in
because
love with it.
halfway through this movie, I turned to Amanda and I went, the new Extremity movement could have just been called the Ain't These Bitches Crazy movement. Like, every single movie is
It
just like,
it
look how
is.
fucking insane this woman
And
is.
it's like, and it's, a lot of it is extreme in the sense of that a lot of the movies are body horror too. Like a lot of them are body horrors, and I really do think this one, like, I think is a prime example of like those movies being inherently queer, and like something in that vein is just like it's so hard to watch, but it's just so
I
recognizable at
I read the essay that you sent over to me, and I can't discredit someone else's view of the movie, but
Mhm.
like I did not pick that up like at all. I think that there's like other very strong themes going on,
Mhm.
but I felt like a lot of like what they were saying about it being about like trans masculinity and stuff, like I just didn't pick that up at all. But I can't discredit that someone like I can see why someone going through that would see that in the movie.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
I don't think that that was at all like authorial intent.
Mm.
You know what I
Interesting.
mean?
That I mean, you absolutely right. But we also talk about that all the time too, that when you make something and put it out into the world, it's no longer yours. Like
Uh, but
it's
I, but
open for
I,
interpretation.
yeah, but I'm a person who is very much like I care much more about what the author means than what anyone takes from it. Like that,
Sure,
like
sure.
that's you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah,
But again, like reading the essay, I'm like, oh, I completely see
yeah.
why someone going through that would like connect all of those
Oh
things.
yeah.
I don't think that was necessarily like the stated purpose, but I can't
Yeah.
discredit, someone seeing themselves in it in that way because like it reading the logic, like it makes total
Oh
sense,
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know.
100%. 100%.
Are you
Yeah,
gonna
they
read some like excerpts later?
yeah, I got like two of the like there was a couple of like sentences that really like stood out for me in that one. But yeah, yeah, I do and I do agree that yeah, it might not have been the intention of the author, but even while I was watching it, I was picking up on things. And again, having no context for this prior to this, like no zero context going into it, I was just like, "Oh, there's something else going on here." Like there's definitely like obviously I knew it was a thing about identity, but like the thing about being, I mean, we gotta go into the analysis later. We're just kind of going into it
Yeah,
up
yeah,
top. But I mean, that's what this movie inspired in me though. Like I was talking about it all fucking weekend to people, just like anyone who would
yeah.
listen. Like,
I think the skin I live in is a lot more blatant, and
oh yeah,
maybe it's just I've only seen the movie once, but
yeah,
I just yeah, I feel like that one much more like absolutely 100%, like it's just like
yeah.
to top to bottom,
Hmm. And again, and that
Uh
thing of like body horror too. It's the same. That's another body horror, just by a
that
different.
was that was one thing that I read in the essay where it was like, the scariest thing that a man can imagine is being made into a woman, and I didn't think that quite applied to the in
Oh,
my
to in my
skin.
skin. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I really had to
I
like
know
do
it's
the
hard. It's
fucking
hard.
algebra there. But the skin I live in, like that's
Yeah,
like it's like damn, that is really it's like you're fighting transphobia with transphobia.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
like, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Being like, yeah, well, imagine, but
Hmm.
it's the
Hmm.
same thing as like when a guy is being a dick and misgendering someone. Like, I want to be like, okay, then, ma'am, because
That knee-jerk
that's the only
reaction.
thing that works to their fucking lizard
Yeah,
brain to
yeah,
like
yeah,
make them understand, But
yeah.
it's like, are we just falling to their level at that point? But
Exactly.
it made me think about the other movie. I was thinking about that earlier today. I was like, damn, because to me, regardless of who you are, being
Hmm.
forced to live as a gender that you don't want to be is what I think is the scary thing.
Yeah,
But I
absolutely.
understand how the movie precisely presented a man being punished by
Hmm.
being turned into a woman. So it's
Yeah.
like, oof, like I want to it's not as woke as we wish it was.
Yeah, no,
You know,
I
you
get
know.
it. I just think that like it's that thing too of like the queer community kind of championing a lot of those older horror movies that like again those tropes that were like very homophobic, transphobic, things like that. Championing those to be like Sleepaway Camp is a huge example
Yeah,
of that.
that's a crazy one too. Because
Massive.
again, it's like the reaction is from being forced to be
Exactly.
something you're not.
Exactly.
It's not about Angela,
As yeah, Angela.
I
Yeah.
think is the name. It's
Yeah.
not about whether like that Angela transition and that's why Angela's evil. It's
It
that
was
Angela
literally she was forced to.
was forced to,
Yeah.
which would fuck anyone up.
Yeah,
You,
exactly.
you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
But again, it is kind of like you do see how going from one direction to the other all the time does like build a pattern. So there were
Hmm.
like quite a few things in the essay where I was like, wow, they're like the overall sweeping things I can't I'm having a hard time denying.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Just being like, yeah, that's the scary thing. And I
Yeah.
mean, to me, the scary thing about movies with like assault and stuff isn't that a man being assaulted would feel like a woman. It's that being forced to have like that happen to you is
Yeah.
unpleasant regardless of who you are.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I do see how patterns are built over time and
Exactly. Yeah. And then that's what I'm saying. Like I really do appreciate that the even the trans community has come around and like really got behind Sleepaway Camp and like claimed it as like theirs, you know. It's like that's their movie and I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
because I think at the end of the day, the point is the point that they would make themselves. Same
Hmm.
with Skin I Live In,
Hmm.
that being having to live as something that you're not is absolutely torturous.
That's the
But
real horror. Yeah.
yeah, it would be. I guess it would be nice to see one of these movies where it's female to male instead of male to female all the time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. For sure,
But
for sure.
but it's kind of like. I don't know, on a certain level, same difference, but on a certain level, you can't help but when they point out these patterns, be
Oh yeah.
like, yeah, yeah, they are there.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Well, let's give them a little synopsis of what we're kind of dealing with, because like if all of this, again, this conversation is just going to go into a couple of different directions, but I really do. I like the simplicity of this movie is what like nailed it home for me. Like, I loved how direct it was. It was just so like very simple. Very, here's what you get. That's all you get, and you're gonna like it. Really, really well done.
Everything I can think of to say, I feel like is a thing to say after the movie. Like every
Sure,
thought that
sure,
every
yeah.
thought that I'm having, I'm like, oh well, uh,
Sure, it is hard to talk about without
mm.
spoiling it. I've found it really difficult to talk to my friends without
Yeah,
who hadn't seen
the
it.
the quick synopsis of In My Skin is that a woman named Esther, who apparently works at some kind of like advertising firm,
Yeah,
it seems
yeah.
like, goes to a party with some colleagues at like a friend of their boss's house, and the house is like partially under construction.
Hmm.
She goes off wandering around drunkenly, falls and like absolutely mangles her leg, but a mixture of being drunk and shock and potentially just having a malfunctioning nervous system.
Yeah,
It's like not really explained in any way whatsoever.
yeah.
But for whatever reason, she doesn't notice for a long time, and then once she does, she becomes absolutely fascinated with her new wound.
Oh yeah, she becomes obsessed with it for sure.
Hmm.
And then hilarity ensues.
Hmm.
And and
Laughs are
then
had.
laughs are had.
Drinks are definitely had before going to the hospital.
Oh man, yeah. It's okay, and they and when you hear new extremity movement, when you hear body horror and stuff, like there's an idea I think that people have that like, and even it's been said in like a bunch of articles online over the years, this is one of the most disturbing films to watch. This is the most disgusting ones to watch. Even the
Hmm.
author in the essay that I sent you even said that their boyfriend tapped out like halfway. The college boyfriend tapped out like halfway through because he couldn't get past it. So it's like I understand, and like, but a lot of it,
I
genuinely, is gonna sound weird. It's not as gory as you like might expect it to be. Even
yeah.
there's a lot of blood. There's a lot of blood and all that, but like a lot of it is shown from like certain angles where it's a lot of it is implied. So you're not getting like explicit fucking gore all the time. You get the
Well,
aftermath of gore for sure, but like
let's do the trigger warnings.
yeah, yeah.
I
I was
mean
gonna say
the big one is self-harm
self-harm. Yeah,
in
yeah.
many interesting,
Oh yeah,
weird
creative
forms.
ways.
At one point we play car accident.
Uh,
Uh,
I love that.
I got a story about that. Um,
Oh man.
there's a lot of digging in your leg, twin.
Oh my god. So good.
Yeah, I had
Yeah.
to remember to explicitly make that joke today.
It's yeah, dude. It's like I don't know, man. Like, but that's what I'm saying. It's like it is gore, and that's what I'm saying. I was like cringing really fucking hard watching it, but it's not
There's a
like
lot of blood.
there's a lot of blood, but again, it's like the actual like gore of it, yeah, kind of it's not explicitly shown. It's a lot of it is implied. A lot
Hmm.
of it. And that's what I was saying. Like until we get towards the end of like the movie, and like that's when things start becoming a little more like ramped up. But I think like early on, a lot of it is just kind of show don't tell, but you know, we
Hmm.
barely show don't tell, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
If you couldn't
So
stand that, I don't know why, you know, you couldn't really if you're listening to this show, you've probably seen one or two of the movies that we've talked about before, and I guarantee you you're probably gonna have a great time with this question mark, but I I will say it is worth a watch. I really, really do think this one is worth a watch.
there's yeah, if you can deal with the the digging, you'll be fine.
Yeah, we've covered way worse and violent shit on this one, which is so funny that our like boxing Helena episode got age restricted.
Yeah, that's so
It's
weird.
so strange.
I
I was
don't
like,
know
what the
what
fuck,
happened
dude?
there.
There's nothing like inherently bad about that.
Yeah, I would say probably like the most traumatic thing of watching this movie is like just how angry it'll probably make anyone who's like lived these
Oh
experiences. There's just
yeah.
a lot of
Oh yeah.
like gaslighting and being ignored
That's a
kind
really good,
of
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a
going
really good
on.
trigger for sure. Gaslighting is a big one. Huge gaslighting, dude. Fuck that man. Absolutely, fuck that man. Oh
All
man,
right.
yeah. Let's get into it though. You guys can find this. Pretty much you can rent it anywhere. I think we found it on YouTube and stuff. Sail the Seven Seas, maybe.
$2 on
Allegedly.
YouTube.
There you go. Two
$2.
whole dollars, man. That's like half a cheeseburger.
That's right. This is Dance My Pure.
That's
That's the
that's
French
the
name of
French
the
name.
yeah.
So stupid.
What did I do? I just said the name of the movie.
Dance. All
Dance
right.
Ma
Yeah,
Pure.
let's get into it. Like, if that's all sounds good, you know what I mean? Like, go check it out. Come along for this ride with us.
This fantastic voyage.
Hmm.
Okay. So the movie starts with Esther typing away at her laptop and her boyfriend coming in to chide her and tell her that she's never going to be finished if she only types at 3 words an hour. And they talk about needing to move in together because it's hard, living out of two places. And he says he has to go home to work because he doesn't have his things here. And we get what will start a trend of long tracking shots of this woman's body, which I'm only
Yeah, yeah.
laughing because she's the one going, okay, and then now I want you to get one from behind, one with the thong to the side.
Hey man, ultimately this movie comes down to self-love, man. That's what it comes down to, and that's if this is her self-love, format, then so be it.
It's just, I don't know, it's just kind of funny to me to think
Hmm.
about that way, to be like, do we have enough shots of my ass?
So good. Yeah, I will
There's a
say too.
point she's building towards, but I mean, it's still
Yeah,
just funny to think of.
and that's the thing too. I think even before we get into it, I should bring it up because like I was like, oh, isn't there a condition where like your skin is really stretchy? And it is.
Uh,
It's called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome.
oh, Danlos Mapew.
What?
The name of the Dan's Mapew,
No,
Danlos Mapew. Yeah.
that's stupid.
Swing and a
Like,
miss.
wait, what?
Swing and a miss. We can't all
The
bat 1,000.
so yeah, it's worth noting that I believe the character was like meant to exhibit something like this, or it feels like, but because she's just like really stretching her skin
It's
out at
weird
times.
how
Like it's
stretchy she
yeah,
is in certain scenes. I was
she's
like,
really stretchy.
I don't think my hips do that.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I forgot to check, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, yeah. That was just interesting. I just thought it was an interesting point to bring up.
No, you're right. I wonder if that's something she has because
Yeah,
it looks
yeah.
real when she's
Very,
doing
very
it,
stretchy. Yeah.
A lot of the effects in this movie are just like,
They're
yeah,
very
so I'm just
subtle.
watching you do that.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
How'd you do that? Because you're
For
literally
sure.
doing it right
You're
now.
just doing it, man.
Yeah, fucking. So she goes to a party with her colleague, and they explain that it's being hosted by a friend of their boss, that the house is still under construction, but it's going to be like really beautiful when it's all done. Seems a little weird to me, but the French are freaks, so what are we supposed to do here?
It's so good. They build catacombs. They could just go look at their dead loved ones, man.
Just to do it.
Just to play with bodies. We already talked about this.
Just for the ho 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 of it all. Um so Sandrine is her coworker's name. I had to look up the
Yeah,
cast list
yeah.
really quick.
The coworker, she has such an interesting relationship with her too. Like, I just thought that was an interesting thing to like include in the movie. You know what I mean?
It's yeah, it is very interesting. I feel like I mean, like to me,
Hmm.
a lot of what's going on in this movie is that things are just fine. And
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
it's not like there's some like horrible inciting incident, like everything's just fine.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And that's the problem. Like
Yeah, like
that becomes the problem. Yeah, exactly.
yeah. So she just has this tepid work friendship. She
Hmm.
mentions like how she was in college, so I think they've been friends for a long time. But yeah, they
Mm.
just have this shitty friendship,
Yeah, it's very yeah,
to
exactly.
put it mildly.
It's very like surface level for sure, and then like there's attempts for that to go beyond the surface, and then they're just like batted away. It's very interesting.
It's funny because what happens in this movie is it seems like everyone is really interested in her, but she's just not interested in anyone or anything, and she's like only figuring that out as this movie is starting.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I would definitely agree with you there.
So she walks into the party with Sandrine and walks right through the house, past everybody. Nobody addresses her. She doesn't address anyone. She just walks right out into the dark yard and is just skulking around like a weirdo. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a strange thing to do. She just walks. She's like, yeah, fuck it. I'll just go out here where it's dark and I can't see anything, and
Hmm.
falls into what looks like the like swimming pool under construction.
Yeah.
If I had to
Yeah, yeah,
guess,
yeah, yeah. I thought
and
that's what it was.
clearly like hits her leg on something. Like
Yeah,
it's obviously she's like limping and stuff.
yeah.
But it's not apparent like how bad it is.
No, it's not because that's the thing. Like even when like I had to run it back right when she like right after this, she just goes into the restroom, and I was just like, wait, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Like
the sequencing for the first like 10 15 minutes of this movie is like really confusing and
it's very
strange.
jarring because it's just
And
like this is just what happens.
I feel like the dialogue as well in the first like 20 minutes is just
Mhm.
like really, I don't know, just like right in the line between dreamlike and dog shit. And I'm just like confused as to what's even happening and how real these conversations are
Oh
supposed to be. You
God,
know,
man. Yeah.
sometimes it's just like it's like in a play where it's like, all right, whatever, they're like singing, but obviously they're not really having this conversation. It's just like their thoughts or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So some of these conversations you're like, is this like is this diegetic? Am I supposed to
yeah.
just
Exactly.
like
Is the dialogue in the room with us?
yeah, like is this actually happening or am I
Yeah.
is this like a representation, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But yeah, she goes and fucking falls into the pool, hurts her leg, doesn't get up in the morning.
yeah.
She comes back into the house to find Sandrine sitting on a couch smoking. Very, very French. Just doing that
Hmm.
inside, huh?
Yep.
Um,
How it goes.
and it just goes on and on. The
I mean I saw
fucking
a lot of that in Vegas though too. You can't really it's not just the French.
the wall's yellow.
Ah, that's
God.
disgusting.
The the first time performing in Reno, they were like literally they had a fireplace in the middle of the venue that was lit for some
The
reason.
fuck?
And there were, I just remember having people in the front row chain smoking and just blowing cigarette smoke in my face while I'm rapping and
Ugh.
just being like, what? Like in my head, just like, how do you think this whole thing functions?
Exactly.
Like, you don't think you're making it any harder?
No, no, absolutely not.
Jesus
And neither
Christ.
Babas.
Yeah. It's uh it's a whole thing. Smoking cigarettes inside is crazy. Um and anyway, their boss is there, I believe. Um oh no, it's actually it's the friend of the boss is who it is. And
Yeah,
he's dancing with Esther
that's
and
right.
Sandrine is sitting on the couch upset that Esther's getting attention, not her.
Yes.
And goes up and does the whole can I borrow her and takes her away. There's an interesting little thing here where she tells the guy hosting the party like, "Oh, I'll contact you for lunch sometime, blah blah
Yeah, he's like,
blah."
I don't do lunch, I do dinner.
Because the implication is we will
Exactly.
fuck. like I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then this is actually the first time we see her go to the bathroom. We don't see like she ostensibly she comes out and goes into the bathroom because then she goes into the bathroom again
Yeah.
and there's blood everywhere.
That's why I had to run it back because I was so confused. I was like,
It's a
what?
it's a really weird way to show that. It's
Very
it's meant
strange.
as like she walks back in after having been there before and is like,
Mm-hmm.
"Whoa, why is
Mm-hmm.
there blood everywhere?" And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, it's so funny. I mean, it does work this way sometimes. But as soon as she sees the blood, she like completely falls and her leg won't work anymore.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And then she goes and looks at it, and it's bad, dude.
Yeah.
It's
The
bad. Like,
effects on the fucking wounds are disgusting, dude. I loved it. It's so fucking hard to look at.
and then yeah, it really is. It's done
Hmm.
really well. It's like, I mean, not for the squeamish out there, maybe cover your ears for five
Yeah.
seconds,
Yeah.
but it looks like there's like parts like scooped out. Like it
Oh,
looks
yeah.
bad,
Yeah.
dude.
It's
Like
very
I don't
hamburger
know,
meaty.
I
Yeah.
don't know how you'd have to fall hamburger helper.
Yeah.
Uh,
I know. Like I was trying to like
Zip
figure out. I was like,
Royale
damn.
with cheese
I was like,
helper.
I was like, how the fuck? Like, she had to have fallen like in a fucking ditch of like spikes and shit. Like,
Yeah,
for that to look like that, I was like, one fucking trip did not do that.
that was some Mortal Kombat shit.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
And
Yeah, she
then
she absolutely is fucked up.
this next scene made me think that we were in for some like Sixth Sense shit because
Mm,
we've you have to just interpret and realize that she had two trips to the bathroom
hmm.
and then she walks out ready to leave and Sandrine says, "Where were you? We were looking for you. No one was in the bathroom, but we found blood everywhere,"
Oh
which
yeah, yeah,
means
yeah.
which means they looked between her trips to the bathroom.
Hmm.
And then she runs up the stairs to their other like male friend colleague. She says, "Henry and I looked everywhere for you." And then she runs upstairs and Henry comes down the stairs and she says, "Any luck?" And he says, "I looked everywhere."
And she's
And
standing
then
right
they
there.
and then they just like ignore her. And so
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah,
I was like, "Oh, is it like fucking Bruce Willis talking to the
yeah.
kid's mom?" Like I was just so
That's good. Yeah.
confused what was supposed to be like
Yeah,
like
yeah, I'm not gonna disagree with you for sure. The characters definitely feel like there's like a disjointed feel about the entire first part of the movie, but I think that might have been intentional because of what happens later on.
it's just confusing. And then after that, she says, "Henry should call the police. No one reported an accident." And then they ask her, "So where the hell were you?" And then she tells them like what happened. But it's just so weird. Half of the conversation is
Yeah,
as if she's not
she's not
there.
there. Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah,
it's like they're going back and forth between two different
yeah.
conversations about whether
Mm-hmm.
she's there and whether she's not there. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
just confusing. But then moving forward, it becomes more straightforward. But just that scene in particular was
yeah. Very jarring. Yeah,
so weird to
yeah,
me.
yeah.
Of like, where were you? We were looking for you. Oh, hold on. Hey, any luck? I looked everywhere. Like what? No, like you
Yeah,
should
for
have. You
sure.
should say, "Hey, she's right here."
She's right here. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know, but
um,
that's what I'm saying. I really do think like given the context of what happens after, this is kind of setting all of that up. I think this is kind of like to drive home the point that even she feels disconnected from her body. That she just feels so disconnected from everybody. You know what I mean?
yeah, I feel like certain parts of that do work towards that, but the like weirdness of the
The dialogue
dialogue,
is just
like
very
that,
straight. I'm not gonna, yeah.
it just seems
Oh no,
like,
I'm not disagreeing with you at all. Like
yeah,
100% agree, but I think that's like that might have been the intent is just to set up the fact that she just doesn't feel connected to anybody,
yeah.
including herself.
Definitely over the course of the party.
Yeah.
And then she mentions to them that her leg is hurt. She like kind of tells them what happened, and then is like, "Let's go get a drink before I go to the
Yeah.
hospital." And then she goes to the hospital and has this Christopher Moltisanti looking motherfucker who's I think what we're supposed to gather is that he's like a young, inexperienced doctor. I think that's part of
Yeah.
the problem of
Yeah,
everything.
for sure, for sure. But he's still suspicious of her, like immediately, like why the fuck didn't you come over here right away? You know, like why didn't you took several hours to come here is what he says to her. He's like, yeah, this wound is a little bit older. Why did it take you so long?
Yeah, and she's
So it's
just like,
like
I don't know, man, I'm a drunk.
exactly. So I don't know, man.
I,
Fucking
I
party, bro.
I mean, it's again, it's hard to tell because French, but I feel like she's supposed to be an alcoholic. I think I th
Interesting.
I think that's definitely part of it because I mean, there's a scene later where she gulps like 4 cups of wine down
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
super
And that
quickly.
does become a point of the conversation too later on, like when they're talking about like how she might have gotten hurt.
Hmm.
So that's yeah, 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 for sure. I don't, yeah, I don't disregard that read on it whatsoever. That makes sense.
So yeah, so he's just like chiding her and saying a few sexist things of like she says she fell out of building site and he's like, you and building sites don't match.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Very silly, stupid shit. Yeah.
yeah, trying to like flirt with her and stuff, but
Hmm.
yeah. So he just wraps her wound up and tells her to come back in a couple of days to get it rewrapped, and we
And
just
to
see her.
reassess whether or not she wants surgery to correct it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. He offers
Yeah.
her to a skin graft, and then she just says like, "Yeah, I don't really care."
Hmm.
And he's like, okay, like you
It's
might
not
want
going
to."
to heal well. It's not going to be pretty, but it'll heal.
Yeah, he's like, well, it's really fucked up. So if you're like sure about that,
Yeah.
uh, and then we just see time passing. So I think what we're supposed to interpret is she didn't go back when she was supposed to,
Mm.
because we see like her working, her bathing, her sleeping, her doing like we see her like in her bedroom a couple times.
Yeah.
So I think a few days pass and she just doesn't ever go back. And then when she gets out of the bath, uh, it looks like her leg is becoming gangrenous.
Hmm.
Like there's
Hmm.
just like just disgusting green ooze all over her leg.
Oh, it looks rough, man.
It's bad.
It's fucking rough.
And then her boyfriend Marc Duplass,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because he's like the French Mark Duplass.
Yeah, 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 that's funny. That's good.
He comes by and is asking her a lot of questions about what happened, and she's trying to tell him that they should like go out on a date,
Yeah, she's
and
deflecting like crazy. She's
yeah,
just like
and not answering the question.
mm,
And
she's
then
parrying him.
he tells her at one point that like she's repulsed by his touch, but then she doesn't even feel being like hurt in this way.
Mhm. Yeah, because I don't know if we with I'm pretty sure we got past it, but she's been so initially when she goes to the bathroom when she first sees that she's cut, she is like immediately fascinated by it. You could tell like there's this look in her eye that she's just like enthralled by what's going on, and like she starts
Mm.
running her finger like over the wound.
I took it more as like a normal level at first,
Hmm.
like I mean, it's like picking at scabs and like
Yeah,
kind of just like touching where your wound is. That's just like a very self-soothing
human
and
experience. Yeah,
animalistic,
yeah.
yeah, thing to do. So I feel like to start, she's at like a normal level of it where she's just kind of like looking at, and I also kind of took it as like longing and almost regret at this point of like,
Mm.
fuck, man, like I really fucked my leg up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Whereas
yeah.
soon she's gonna be like, I really want to fuck my leg up, but
Yeah, but that's like that's what I
Spider-Man,
exactly. That's so funny. Looking at the
we can
knives and
ruin this body,
the Green
Spider-Man.
Goblin mask is the knife.
God, her hairpin looks like a fucking like fruit pear, and so I
Oh
was
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
ready
She
for
can put it
her
in
to
her
start just
mouth.
fucking.
No, I love that like there she's already showing signs of like she can't feel it. And so that's why she's like you're saying, like it's that thing of like curiosity even of like like poking at a wound. Like, what the fuck? I'm supposed to be able to feel this. Like, it looks bad, and like I can't feel it. So that's just strange. And so there's
Hmm.
that, like there's those inkling, like the very first inclinations that you're starting to get, like she's curious about this, or like at least fascinated by what she's like seeing. I think
Hmm.
is when she starts that, and then like later on when we start seeing it again after she gets out of the shower and shit, like it looks rough, but it's again that same thing of like, why you keep poking at it, man? Like, what are
Yeah,
you
it's
doing?
the seed being planted, but
For sure.
it's a normal level to
Yeah.
begin with.
Yeah.
Um, and then they have, unnecessary movie sex. And
I
it's
don't
so
know.
it
It didn't feel like unnecessary either because again in that kind of scene you don't really in the entire view of it, I wasn't really seeing that they're in love. I saw things of like her tolerating him a lot of the time.
it's it it is, but also him being willing to change things for her, but her not liking him enough to like really want to be with him. So it does just kind of go back to like, well, then you should just break up with him.
Oh yeah, 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 for sure.
You know,
For sure.
because during this conversation they talk about how he got a job offer to like work for a bank on their like media strategy and all this stuff, and he's going
Yeah.
to make more money. And she's like, well, why don't we like buy a place instead of renting? Like it would be so nice. And he you can tell he's like hesitant, and then he just kind of decides like, well, if I want this relationship, like that's what I have to do. And
Hmm.
so he's like, okay, yeah, we'll do the thing that you want to do. Like we'll just do that.
Yeah.
But she's still like unhappy because it's almost like she wished that he was going to be like, well, I don't want to do that, so we can't be together.
I don't know. I mean, to me, it kind of read
It's
that like it's that's what you're supposed to do. Like that's what you know what I mean? Like societally, that's what
it's
you're supposed to do.
Well, I mean, that's a factor of it. That's why people stay in shitty relationships that they
Hmm.
don't want to be in, is because they just feel like it's what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
But I think that's truly what it is that she just doesn't want to pull the plug and like actually take the action to change the situation. And so she's
Yeah. Yeah. For
and
sure.
and like, hey, I've been there. I think a lot of people have been there,
It's
unhappy
scary.
and
It's
hoping that
scary.
the other person will just do it so you don't have to,
Exactly.
because you don't want to hurt that person or be bad,
Yeah,
like
exactly. You don't want to
like
be perceived as the evil one in that situation. And like that's the thing. Like
yeah,
that's but that I think goes back to the societal thing of like that's what you're supposed to do. And in order for to avoid all of those things of being like a pariah, and a social outcast of sorts, you have to do that. You have to play by the rules, fucking paint by numbers, you know what I mean, do all this shit. And so she was
yeah,
just kind of trying to do that and like force herself into this fucking square peg when she's a circle.
yeah, yeah.
You know
But
what I
I
mean?
think I think that's what it like really ultimately comes down to, though, is like she just doesn't want to have to hurt him. She just wants this to be done.
Sure.
And
Sure.
so it
I can agree
just
with that. Yeah.
so it just becomes like, okay, if I push for things that maybe he doesn't want, then maybe he'll just say, okay, then I can't be in this relationship. But
Hmm.
every time she kind of does, he goes like, okay, I'll do that for you.
Hmm.
And kind of,
Yeah.
like everything's okay. And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
problem,
Yeah.
is that
Yeah.
like she doesn't want to go through
The difficult conversation.
the pain of change.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
change isn't easy. Even good change takes like work and pain,
Hundred
and
percent. 100%. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
again, in a way I can see how that interpretation, pops up.
Yeah, for
But
sure. I still think it's still definitely fucked this foot. Like going forward, I have no
oh yeah,
remorse for this foot.
he
Yeah,
sucks.
he's a
He's
piece of shit. Like
All
yeah,
the
fuck
men
this
in
foot.
this movie are fucking terrible.
Exactly. Exactly. Do
It's all
better,
bad.
fellas. Do better, fellas.
And relationship saved. They're gonna try to buy a house, and he's gonna get this job. And then her boss comes in at work, or before she goes to work, she's having trouble putting her pants on. I almost skipped
Oh, I
over
thought
this
that
scene.
was interesting.
Yeah, she like can't fit it in, which I don't think is entirely because of the bandages. I think it's the bandages and the swelling,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because you would be fucking swollen after
So
that.
this was one thing that I really wanted to talk about because of the chapter in that book. I
Hmm.
really, really liked that they equate it to pregnancy. I really, really like that because that is a thing that I've heard very much is a thing. Your pants don't fit you well because your legs swell, your ankles swell, stuff like that. So I like that they included that because it was just a subtle enough thing where it's like it could be interpreted this way and it could be interpreted this way. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So like there was a lot of the things in there, and like and pregnancy kind of seems to be an also like a theme within the theme. There seems to be hints of that in here too.
You're gonna have to point them out to me then, because
That was
I
well, this
mean,
was one of them, and I think it's like the with pregnancy and a lot of the pregnancy movies, it's body horror. You know what I mean? It's things like your body is physically changing, and
yeah, but there's nothing like growing in her body or coming out of her body. So like I'm having
no,
a hard time, like just
the
like the
pregnancy,
body.
yeah, I think the pregnancy is again the like it's a metaphor for it. I don't think it's like an actual like one-to-one analysis of it. I just think that there are things in here that read to me as like women who go through pregnancy complain about certain things about pregnancy that change their like perspectives about things, even their own bodies, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of things that inherently come with that type of body horror, and I think that's what I was seeing a lot of that in here. So like even just her putting on the pants and not being able to put them up, I was like, oh, that's an interesting thing to include in this body horror film. You know what I mean? I was just like, it was just another read that I had on it.
I mean, I just think that it's that actually doing what it would take to heal this wound is an inconvenience, and she's
Mm,
not willing to go through any inconvenience or like
that is
admit
also yep,
that she's
valid
in any
read.
pain.
Yeah, valid
So
read on that as well. Yeah,
so it's like a normal person would just go to work with like a wrap on their leg and be like, "Yeah, sorry, like I'm wounded. You
yeah,
have to deal with
but
it."
she has to
But
save face.
yeah, for whatever reason, which like
Mm,
it feels like given again that everything's like so okay, like her
yeah,
job's going well, like soon we'll find out just how well her job's going.
yeah,
It's there's really like very few actual issues that she's dealing with.
yeah.
So, I spent most of this being like, all right, we're gonna get like a flashback or something at some point. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's gonna be
Yeah,
some sort of
never came though.
explanation.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like,
Yeah,
I like the fact that it wasn't that, and it mostly has to do with identity. Like, I really,
I
really, I love that.
I read something where basically Marina Devon was like, It's just a lady goes crazy."
Mm,
Like that's just the whole thing is like sometimes people just go crazy. Like there doesn't have to be like a reason. Like
like
sometimes,
like an event that kicks it off.
yeah, like there's not really, which I guess like getting wounded is, but it's not the same as like a psychological event.
Mm. I
Like
do
there's
think
no
that's
like
kind of what I took this as. I kind of took that as this is the start of her journey, inward, as it were.
It's more like a physical event that, but I just mean like in terms of like it's not like this fucked up thing happened to her when she was a kid and it like
Yeah,
fucked
yeah,
up the
yeah,
way
yeah.
she thought forever.
Yeah, a
She just
canon
got
event, as it were.
she just got hurt and is like, huh, why doesn't it hurt more?
Yeah, exactly.
That's so
Yeah.
weird. It doesn't hurt more.
Yeah.
So it's like not it's a little different. You know what I mean?
Sure, sure. That's the thing. I think there's room for all of those like interpretations in this movie though. Like, and I don't even know, like regardless of what her intention was behind writing it, like I said, I think if someone else is able to like get something else out of it, that is a powerful piece of art. I think that's a really powerful piece of media that she put out, you know?
I can agree with that, but I think the
Mm.
difference between like a personal interpretation and like a one that can be more like objective is being like, okay, I think it's about this because here's like a bunch of like reasons and connections, as opposed to be just being like, I just had this vibe.
Mm, hmm.
So that's kind of like the difference for me.
That's fair. That's fair.
Um, okay, let me see where I was here. Oh, so her boss comes in and like changes a deadline on her. he like tells
Mhm.
her he needs something by Wednesday, and she like wasn't prepared for that, and it like clearly fucks up her whole plan.
Yeah.
So she goes and finds a random hallway with a random door hinge, it looks like.
Oh, dude, this part was fucking crazy, dog.
Yeah, all of
This shit
the,
was
I mean,
crazy, bro. Like,
we're entering self-harm central.
oh
So
yeah, dude, and like,
so go ahead and skip a couple minutes if you
oh
don't really want to hear it, but
yeah,
God, every time she hurts herself,
dude,
it's just
it's
so long.
it is, and there was a section in that chapter that I really liked where they talked about it's hard to watch because also it feels like you're watching someone masturbate.
I don't agree with that
I
whatsoever.
did, I did, I
I
completely.
don't like I think like I don't know, man. A lot of the interpretation in that essay I thought was just so like grasping at straws. That's crazy to me. To me,
No, I.
I went, this is really hard to watch because it's someone doing it to themselves,
Mhm,
but it doesn't make me think or feel like masturbation. I just think it's more fucked up to watch someone cut themselves up.
mhm,
Like that's what I said to Amanda was like, if some guy was just like running a knife along her face, I would feel way more okay with it than watching
mhm.
her do it to herself.
Yeah.
Simply because it's just more of like a psychological break of like what's like you're not supposed to hurt someone else, but it's within like the realm of understanding that people would hurt each
You would
other.
hurt each other, yeah.
But you're really not supposed to hurt yourself
Yeah, yeah.
to the point where it's just like you almost like short circuit seeing that, of
Yeah.
being like I was like, God, if it was just some guy chopping her arms and legs off, I'd feel like so much more okay about
Yeah,
this.
and I think that's the thing. I don't know, man. Like I did understand like when I read that, I really understood what they meant by that because I was like, yeah, there's like things about it where you're seeing her do something that's taboo, that's not supposed to be done. That's not it's literally not supposed to be done because it's like goes against your instincts to protect yourself. That's what we have. We have like those things inherently our
For sure.
brain, you know what I mean? Our brain feels heat and tells us don't touch that because it's hot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so that's the thing. I feel like it made
I,
sense. Maybe the phrasing was jarring and it was a lot for people, but I understand what they meant by
I
that.
just don't see how it connects to masturbation.
It's
That's what I
doing
mean is
something
like
alone that they said, like the urge to do it, because that's what it seems like to her. It seems like an urge. She has an urge to go and harm herself. She has she literally has an itch she cannot scratch. You know what I mean? And
mhm.
that's what I'm saying. Like that's why
She's scratching it.
she's she's the damned if she isn't trying though.
Oh, my thighs hurt.
Yeah, dude,
It's
it's
just
because like she starts it on her arm right here too. It's like it's
I,
fucking crazy, bro.
does she do her arm
She
here
starts on her
too?
arm. Yeah, she starts it on her arm right here. Like she starts like fucking in the corner
I
of
know
it.
she did her leg
She does her legs and then she
she
fucking starts in her arm.
she did like yeah like because her calf her right calf is what's wounded,
Yeah,
and then continues it up her
on her
right
thigh.
thigh,
Yeah.
um and then yeah she ventures out more and more.
Mm,
It is interesting though too because like I've never self-harmed, but I do understand the concept of like she goes and does this and then we immediately see her smiling at her computer happily doing her work. So
yeah. Yeah.
I do understand that it is a
Compulsion.
self-soothing
Hmm.
behavior that
Yeah.
like even though that doesn't make sense, like you cut yourself and then that like is your form of regulation. It's
Yes.
not a healthy
Yeah.
form of
Exactly.
regulation.
It's your form. And that's what I mean is like I could see where the equation to masturbation got put placed in this scene and like the scenes were even in the hotel like the hotel room scene is probably the most like biggest example of that of that statement. You know what I mean? I think for me, again, for me, I was completely I was like, oh yeah, this is her form of self-love question mark.
God.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't know how I feel about what it is.
For sure.
It just seems like self-destruction. It just
Oh,
seems
100
like
and fucking and a lot of times in life, those two will look very similar.
God, what do you think of when she after she's done working, she like follows a male coworker into the bathroom and then like dips her hand in like the grime under the soap tray.
That was so. I was like, what? Wait, what the fuck? I thought that was
I
blood.
I was like, if she's gonna just like chop herself up, I can live with that, but I don't want to watch this lady just be a goblin and like lick the fucking
Like Saltburn.
I
Did
thought
you
she was
see?
gonna
Did you
like
see Saltburn?
no, is
She
that
was gonna do.
Saltburn?
She was gonna do that to the fucking blood to the soap plate. Yeah, for people who have seen Saltburn, they'll understand. But yeah, there's a famous
Got it.
bathwater scene.
Mm, yeah, that's I ain't for sure. I thought she was gonna like pick it up and drink it. I was like, God
That's
damn
what
it.
that's what happens in the movie.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck was going on
Yeah,
there.
that was very strange, and I have to like watch it even like another time to really fully grasp what even that meant. But yeah, I don't know. You know, just people do weird shit sometimes when they're alone.
Yeah, sure do. Um, so she goes to Sandrine and tells her, like, I know you're busy, but your work can't be that hard. I'll finish it for you. Like,
It
I
was
didn't even get a
so
lunch break.
yeah,
I need to go get coffee.
it was
I
so
just
weird because you do see her with these like in they she has the intention to like reach out to her and is like trying to get to know her, you know, a little bit more. But like Sandrina is kind of fucking walled off. You know what I mean? She's just like, nah, fuck her because she's getting more attention than me.
to a degree, but I think also, I think in this scene particularly, she just doesn't know what to make of what she's being told. I think she's just like
That's also fair.
literally, I
Because
think
she
just like,
also fucking just trauma dumps on her. It's like, oh, like I cut myself in the background. You're just like, what the fuck?
yeah, then she goes, "What'd you cut yourself on? A metal thing." Like, yeah, I figured. What happened?
Yeah,
What
she's
were
like,
you
what happened?
doing
What were
with
you
it?
doing?
I
She's like, I
cutting
was cutting
myself.
myself. I was like, what the fuck? I don't
Eh.
blame Sandrine for like pushing away either, like, you know what I mean, at that point. But she does the opposite. We're gonna see.
Yeah. So, and then she's just such a goofball. She's all over
Hmm.
the place. She's like,
Hmm.
"Let's go get coffee." I just cut myself. What do you mean? Obviously, I cut myself on purpose. Oh man, I think I misused the word alternatively in the article that I was writing. So, you know
Exactly.
what? I need to go upstairs and fix that. I don't actually don't want coffee.
So dude, it was so odd, man. I was like, what the fuck?
And then she tells her to come sleep at her house.
Yeah. Yeah. She says her
And
boyfriend's gonna be there, but she could still sleep on the couch. She just wants
yeah.
company.
And so Esther showers at her house, and I guess it's just so funny, cultural norms, I guess. She
Yeah.
showers at her friend's house, and then that's not the weird part. The weird
No.
part is when she's drying off afterwards, Sandrine comes to the
Just
door and is like, "Why is it
why'd you lock
locked?"
it? Yeah.
And she said, "Oh, sorry, I wasn't thinking." The fuck? The fuck you mean? I'm allowed to lock the door. I'm in the bathroom.
But it's because she's concerned. She's concerned for her safety, and that's the only thing. We're literally gonna see that right now at the in the end of the scene.
It feels more like it's just French people don't generally lock the bathroom door.
That's also true. Yeah, but
I think that's what we were supposed to like a French audience was supposed to get is like, oh yeah, it is weird she locked the door to begin with.
but it's like also she just fucking she literally takes the razor and what else? She
Yeah.
grabs something else, but she just grabs all the sharp shit.
Scissors.
Yeah, she just grabs the razor and scissors away. She's just like looks at her like, what the fuck?
Well, this is weird too, is like she and then Sandrine starts crying and Esther looks at her and she says, "Stop looking at or stop staring at me. Can you leave me alone
Oh,
for a
that
minute?"
was weird. Yeah, okay. That I did. Yeah, I agree with you there. I was like caught off guard. I was like, what the fuck just happened?
Like there's certain parts in the dialogue where you're like, what am I even supposed to be
Yeah,
like interpreting is
yeah.
going on here?
It could
And
be that
then
it's like lost in translation. I don't know. You know what I mean?
I think I think it's just like this scene specifically. I think it's just Sandrine like
Mm.
centering herself instead of her friend who's fucking
Yeah.
carving her
Oh,
leg like
okay. Literally, now that you say that makes total sense. Yeah, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. I agree with that.
and then she talks to her about it and she says, you know, why'd you do it? And she says, oh, I did it without thinking.
Mm-hmm. And it's the thing of just like, yeah, like, oh, it's a compulsion. It's a compulsion. Like, whatever. Like, I just did it and like I acted on it. Whatever. Like, don't make it weird.
I mean, hey, sometimes I think about throwing my phone out the car window, but I don't do it.
We don't answer the call of the void.
You know,
We don't answer the call of the void. This
I
whole
don't do
movie is
it.
her answering the call of the void.
God. And they talk about how Esther is going to get a big promotion
Yes.
and how Sandrine is still like basically a grunt.
Well, because she takes her to she says they're at the pool right now, right?
Not yet. That's
Oh,
the
okay,
next scene.
I see. Then I'll wait. I'll wait.
And then, well, all I was going to say is that she just like stares at the smooth skin on Esther's legs, which is just so weird when you're like
Yeah.
destroying yourself to be obsessed with, you know what I mean? But
Well, that
it
was
is
the
uh not
like
logical.
contradictory.
Going
Yeah,
through
yeah,
these, yes, contradictory,
yeah,
thank
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah.
Going through these things, it's not logical, so
Yeah, that's the thing, and I'm like, I understood that look that she was giving her too, because also like in the book there was the notion of the author was like, I don't know how people act feminine, or I don't know how people like put this on, like put on those airs to basically, fit in this box essentially. And so she was looking at her some sort of, again, she's looking at things almost like she's curious. Like she's like, what if I did this to myself, like at her leg, and then she's looking at her
oh,
leg.
yeah, I did think that that was crazy in the book when it was like she doesn't understand the concept of feminine self-care. I was like, we
Mhm.
watched her do self-care earlier in the movie. Like
No,
that was an insane
I
reach.
don't think they were talking about her. I think they were talking about like just in general how like someone who is again coming into the realization that they are trans or not the gender that they were assigned, they don't understand how other people who are comfortable with that gender or comfortable in their skin, how they can go about their lives. Like how, they don't know how they do it because they're like, oh well, I was assigned this at birth, so shouldn't that make sense to me, and shouldn't that like be the thing that. And so I understood her look. That glance was just kind of very like it was a very weird thing to put in after the context of what we had just seen too, of her telling her like, leave me alone, you know what I mean. I was just like, okay, weird. And then you're like fawning over her, so I
They're
understand that was a little
terrible
jarring.
friends.
Yeah,
They're like
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
the worst
No,
friends
it
you've
is
ever
not a good
seen.
friendship at all. Like at all, dude. Yeah, because she's still talking shit. She's still talking shit about Citrine. Like it's so sad. It's like, what the fuck?
It's Well, at the pool, Sandrine, she tells her like, "Oh, I am getting my promotion," and
Mm-hmm.
Sandrine mentions,
She's
"Well,
like, that's weird.
I got you in here, as in
Mm-hmm.
like got her hired at the company. I've been here for 5 years and I'm not moving up."
Mm-hmm. She
And
tells
this
her,
is
"Oh,
when
like isn't it interesting? I might get to work for you some on something or something like that. I might be working for you." And she's like, "Yeah, that's weird, huh?"
yeah, and then Sandrine watches her friend get sexually assaulted as three men
Yeah, dude,
jump
that
out of the
was
pool.
okay. We maybe should have put a trigger on that one, but it's
It's
not like explicit assault. It is literally just like the
yeah,
technical,
yeah.
again, like we talk about the technical definition of the word assault. She gets
Well,
assaulted.
they're like pulling her pants off and
They are. That's what
stuff.
I'm saying. Like it is. Yeah,
Like
yeah.
to throw her into the pool, but like that's still
Yeah, but it's
very
not, again,
bad.
like it's not, it is very uncomfortable to watch. I'm just saying in terms of like other things that we've covered that are explicitly like a rape scene. You know what I mean? Like things
Yeah.
like that.
There's a line.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
guys pulling her clothes off. It's not
Hmm.
guys trying to actually, you know.
Absolutely. And she fucking, but like it really is hard to watch. She's like
Oh,
screaming and shit. She's like grasping at the chair, and then
yeah, and
Cedrine just kind of like is like, oh,
yeah,
that
she doesn't
sucks.
do anything,
Doesn't
and
do
then
shit.
goes, "Oh, sorry, I froze up." And
I
even
was in shock.
their like male friend at work is one of the guys doing it, and he's like,
Hmm.
"Oh, sorry."
Yeah,
And
it's fucking. I was like, God damn it, dude! Like. Fuck this guy. Fuck these guys, dude.
And her leg is all covered in blood now because of what they've done.
Yeah.
So she
They like
goes out
ripped
to her
out the stitches
car.
or some shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think it's the top part, like the thigh part, that's
Ooh,
bleeding.
yeah.
So it's like that never even got treated. She never
Hmm.
even went anywhere for that. That's
Oh yeah,
another
because
thing
that was where
is,
she was digging in and the yeah, 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 for sure.
hmm
Hmm.
And she goes and she changes into her red pants like Deadpool. But before she gets her red pants, she looks at all these like implements she's been gathering in her trunk, and she's
Yep.
just like shuddering, like she wants to do it so bad.
Yeah, I know, dude. Every single time they like cut to a fucking shot of pliers, I was like, oh no. I was like, please don't.
And I think this might be really why she continues doing it, is because Vincent, her boyfriend, they're at home later and she's talking about how she never wants to see Sandrine again, and he tells her that like I can deal with your job and I can deal with working harder myself
Hmm.
and I can deal with, getting a loan for the house and all these things. But what I can't deal with is that you're doing this to yourself and you can't even explain why. So
Exactly.
so he's seen the top of her thigh at this
Hmm.
point, and it's hard
He
because on one
basically
hand,
goes, please stop for me.
yeah, on one hand, I understand how as like someone's partner, like you have to draw a line at certain things.
Hmm.
Um, on the other hand,
The
it's
way
it's
he's
kind of
going
like,
about it, though,
but also I do think like especially having seen the rest of the movie, it's hard to find fault in his logic.
I I
Uh,
still I
of
still I still think that he finds a way to make it about himself. I still think that it's less about helping her and it's more about preserving his image.
I don't think it's about preserving his image. I think it is about him in terms
Mm.
of like what he's comfortable with and what he'll be happy with. But I do think like I had a partner who told me before, hey, when we broke up for a short while, I tried to kill myself, so don't ever try to break up with me again.
Jesus
And
fucking
like
Christ,
and
dude.
like that's really hard to deal with. And then I was in a situation where I was just waiting and waiting for her to break up with me
Hmm.
because we were both so unhappy.
Like,
And
yeah.
and thankfully she eventually did. So like that's why, I'm seeing some of myself in here too.
Yeah, yeah.
Like maybe that's my interpretation that doesn't like exactly hold up to scrutiny for
No, sure.
everybody else.
That's what
But
this medium is for. It's literally
but
that's what it's for.
but there is like a certain point, and thank God I've never got into it in a relationship where if someone is self-harming, it
Hmm.
is just like, yeah, if you're going on this trajectory, like to the extent she goes on,
Hmm.
where it's just
Hmm.
like, yeah, if at if at the end of this movie he goes, yeah, I can't be with you because of what you're doing to yourself. I think that that's a fair way to go. I
Yeah,
think
and
I
I
think that that's understandable.
for sure, for sure. But I think that it where he takes it in terms of like, hey, you're not telling me what's really going on, or I'm not, I'm not privy to the information, and
Hmm.
that scares me, and I don't like how that makes me feel. And rather than like actually trying to figure out what's going on with you, I'm gonna be upset because it doesn't make sense to me. I think the he turns it around and makes it almost feel like, I don't know, insecure is like is the way I would probably
I
label
think
that.
he's I think he sucks in a lot of ways, but I think that's maybe the one conversation where he's got like some actual footing when
Hmm.
he's just like, because I mean I do think it's like I understand it's a double-edged sword. It
Yeah.
is like centering yourself to ask, but I do understand how, again, having been sort of in that situation, I do understand being like, am I at fault for this? Like, is
Yeah,
is
and
this something I'm
so
doing?
yeah, for
It's hard
sure.
to ask that without making it about you.
Yeah, and like I can understand that, but it just really like I think he harps on that point too much, and then he becomes it's like he starts getting angry at her and being like, "Is it something like you're unhappy with me? You can't even talk to me about it, and like, what am I doing wrong?" And like he starts getting really angry at her for not giving him the answers that he wants to hear. So it's like,
And I think part of that too is like it does seem from his earlier comments that they're like pretty sexless, that like there's not a lot of intimacy going on.
mm,
And so I think it's all like culminating to him being like, you won't fuck me, you won't talk to me, you want to move into a house together. Like
yeah,
what
yeah,
like like I'm willing to do all of these things, jump through these hoops to make you happy,
hmm,
but none of it's making you happy.
yeah, 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 exactly.
And again having been there,
No,
you
yeah,
know.
for sure, and that's what I'm saying. It's easy to see pieces of ourselves in here, and again, I saw a lot of myself in her character as well. So it's like,
Hmm.
I completely get it. Every interpretation of this movie, I think, is valid because of how open ended a lot of the things are, even down in the dialogue and shit like that. You know?
I think they're both I think she's hoping that she'll just push him away enough eventually that this will all end.
Yeah,
And he's just really, really desperately trying to make it work because he's so afraid of being alone.
I do.
E
I would 100% agree with that.
Even though it doesn't like ultimately work. But I think that's why she starts to lean into it, is that she's like, well, this is the one thing that might free me from this relationship while also letting me explore these other things.
Yeah.
So I mean, in that way I can see it being like a queer read of like, you know, if I explore these things it might destroy my relationship, but if
Mm-hmm.
I don't explore these things,
I don't. I'm
I'm
lying to
I'm,
myself.
I'm lying to myself. Like
Mm-hmm.
I can give it that.
That's what I'm saying.
I can.
That's more of what I took from it. Is it that like again the feeling and like we're literally going to see that she's literally physically feeling detached from her body because it's
Yeah,
her dissociation, self-seeing
yeah.
method.
And we got the first kind of thing of that
Yeah, yeah.
right about here where
Hmm.
she's in bed and her arm is like
Oh
numb.
yeah, dude, I love that shot so much because you can't see him. You can't see him behind
Yeah.
her. It's so well fucking composed.
Oh, yeah, because it's not about him.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. But yeah,
He
she's like asleep on her arm on her like I guess left side,
yeah,
and
yeah,
she's
you're
like
right.
yeah, and then she just like she like grabs her arm and is like it's like limp, and you're just like oh what the fuck, and she's just like what the fuck. You see that little slight panic start building up in her, and then he like reaches over and then like grabs her arm and is helping her massage it out, and then she's like oh okay cool.
But even that is like he's trying to help. Like he might not really know the right thing to do
Yeah.
or be as effective, but
Uh
like he knows her well enough that he can see that
she's
something with her
distressed.
arm is
Mm-hmm.
bothering her and
Mm-hmm.
he's like trying to soothe her. So it's
For
like
sure. And then
it's
we've talked about morally gray characters all the time, and I really do feel like he is a prime example of that. You know what I mean?
yeah, I think he sucks in a lot of ways, but also he's just a guy unhappy in his relationship and
Exactly.
she's unhappy in that same relationship.
Yep.
And so really they should just have the conversation of, you know, maybe this isn't going where we both want it to.
Mm-hmm.
But instead they're like, let's just move in together and buy a house, and that doesn't really fix anything.
Mm-hmm. It's
So
the same thing as
she's
having a kid when you're not sure you want to be with that person.
yeah, so she's like, well, maybe if I fucking chop myself up, he's already expressed that he doesn't like it. So
Doesn't
maybe if
like
I
it. Yeah.
continue to chop myself up, that'll
Yeah.
fix the problem here.
I do, and I agree with your read on that as well. I absolutely do.
Whether she knows it or not,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of
and I
course,
don't think she knows
it
it.
could be subconscious because of the fact that it comes out in these impulses. You know what I mean? Like that's what she acts on, as opposed to
Because
being like, I want to have a proper conversation about this.
yeah. So she goes back to work after their conversation, their argument, and Sandrine comes to talk to her and she's like trying to joke with her and she's just being such a like it's like so stuck up to her,
Catty, dude,
but
catty. I was like, oh
deserved,
shit. Yeah, yeah,
deserved,
yeah,
bro.
yeah.
You watch guys try to rip my clothes off and don't fucking do or say anything. Like we're not friends anymore.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
the end of that.
That's how that goes. Yeah.
That's how that fucking works. And she's like, "Oh, hey, you never returned my pants." And she's like, "Yeah, I couldn't get the blood out. I'll pay you back. I'll leave a check with the receptionist for you." Like just so cold, so
Yeah,
deserved though.
yeah.
And she jokes like, "Oh, they were 900 euros." No, they were just
They were
90.
90.
And she's just like, "Yeah, get the fuck out of my face." But then see, I feel like this though. I feel like because love is such a complicated thing, and
Yeah.
something my mom told me when I was very young, because my brothers, haven't always chosen the best women. I don't understand personally if someone I was with told me that my mom's a fucking bitch and like was constantly fighting with her and constantly telling me I need to decide with her over my
Oh
mom,
man.
we just wouldn't be
Yeah,
together.
we just want to be together. Yeah.
But
Sleep.
I've seen a lot of that in my life.
Oh, that's
And
crazy, dude.
and something my mom told me is, you don't always like the person that you love.
That's
And I was
that's so depressing, man.
it
That's
is.
so
It is.
depressing.
And that's why when you're Esther or Vincent here, you might
Yeah.
go, "Yeah, this relationship isn't what I actually want, but it's a
It's
relationship."
the one I have. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
it's this one is mine. There are
Yeah,
others
there are
like
many
it.
like it.
But
That's so good.
But I feel like he's making an effort because like he comes in the next night or whatever and she's getting ready to clean up her wounds
Mhm.
and he like takes the stuff from her and he's like, "Here, let me do it." So it's like
You're right.
he's
That's what I'm saying.
trying.
There are, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like morally gray is the best way to put it because mostly I don't like this guy. I don't
Yeah,
like I
I do think he's a douche
yeah, that's what I'm
overall.
saying. Like, but like you do see these moments of like, ah, man, he's putting in some effort for sure. You know what I mean?
Well, even this moment too, because while he's like cleaning her wounds,
Mhm.
you see that she has like red marker on her palm.
Oh yeah,
And
and he
he,
freaks out. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and he's like, let me see," and all this stuff. But again, I understand, and like sometimes that's what it comes down to. If when your partner is a compulsive
Hmm.
self-harmer, and that's
Hmm.
different than like just
Very different.
normal levels of cutting yourself.
Very
That
different.
is,
Yeah.
these are
Yeah, yeah.
abnormal levels
100%. Yeah.
of cutting yourself. Not that not that any of it's okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's a self-soothing. There's a reason behind it, but it's a maladaption. And
Yeah,
obviously,
yeah, yeah.
if we all were able to get help, hopefully none of us would be doing that to
Exactly.
ourselves.
Yeah.
You know,
Hmm.
you're valid. What you're doing is an expression of these feelings. I just wish we all had better outlets so we could work through those
Yeah,
things, you
better
know?
coping mechanisms.
But what she's doing is like way fucking beyond.
Yeah, for sure.
You
This is
know?
an extreme part. Again, that's what this whole like movie that's what these corner of these movies are for though, is to explore that concept of like what if we
Yeah.
took it to the extreme?
Yeah. It's like if your partner was a heroin addict and you came home
And
and
you
there was
saw
like
needles and so
charred
yeah,
out
yeah, yeah,
foil,
spoons and shit. Yeah,
you
for
would
sure. For sure.
you wouldn't be wrong to be suspicious. So
Yeah,
again,
yeah, yeah.
it's like you have a hard time. It's like he shouldn't be controlling her, but she's kind of chopping herself to bits. So like
Yeah, no, for sure. And I do think that's what made me fall in love with this is because of how complex everything was, even as simple as it's portrayed. Like it's portrayed very simply. Like their relationship is fine and it's doing well, I think. You know what I mean? And then her job, she's doing fine, she's doing great, but like there nothing about it feels right because you do feel that something's off. You feel there's a longing for something else. And I do love that it kind of comes out in their relationship. You're right. Like that really is the most complex part of this, not just her self-harm. I really do think it comes down to the relationship between them two.
I think so too, I'm like discovering it, going through it again, having
Yeah.
only seen it the one time
Yeah.
yesterday, because I do think a lot of it is, as stated, like lady goes crazy for no reason. Doesn't always
Hmm.
have to be a reason.
Yeah.
She just is, but But it's very mundane reasons. Everything in her life is okay. Her
Yes.
friendship with Sandrine is like the worst thing
Hmm.
that she has to
Mm.
deal with. And part of that situation only occurred because of what she's doing to herself. Like she only freaked out so much about the water because she knew she has a bunch of open wounds on her
Yeah,
leg and
yeah,
like
yeah. She can't
how
go in the
bad
water.
that's going to be.
Yeah.
But like a, normal situation, generally you'd either show up to work or call and say, "Hey, I really fucked my leg up. I have to work from home for a while or take some time off."
Yeah. Yeah.
Or I'm going to be in the office with a big thing around my leg because I fucked my leg up. So like
Exactly.
you just have to deal with that.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, again, and I do think a big part of it is like woman's place in the world kind of thing
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah,
of
yeah.
like not wanting to be the squeaky wheel
That is all
and
over this movie. Even it comes down
being
to
a
when she's in her new role too. We're gonna see more of
yeah,
that too, you know?
being a post 9/11 career woman.
Damn, it was 2002. Yeah, for
It's
sure. That's crazy.
freshly we were just barely
They
remembering.
they just fell. That's crazy.
Didn't even have time to forget yet. Um,
God
so
damn it.
this next scene is like a full 13 minutes of this movie, and so I'll just
Is
say
this
what happens.
the hotel?
This is the dinner.
Oh, oh yeah. Oh, I
So
love this scene so
I
much.
I feel like play by play
It's
doesn't
yeah,
really
yeah.
help
We can
here.
sum this one up for sure.
Simply
Yeah.
we've seen a few meetings throughout the movie. I've kind
Hmm.
of breezed past them of this team that she's going to be leading. This plan. She's like an expert in the Middle East, I guess. She's spent some time there,
Yeah.
which is hilarious because French people are very racist against people from the Middle East and Muslims. So
Yeah.
weird, but
Yeah.
Anyway,
And
um,
inclusion.
we've seen a few meetings with these people, and there's a
Yes.
very like sort of '90s Tim Curry looking guy who appears to be the client. Am I wrong?
Yeah, no,
Am I
you're
wrong? He's got the
that's
fucking
that's
beard.
painfully accurate. Yeah, it's painfully accurate.
And so he tries to pour wine for her, and she says, "No, I'm just gonna have water because it's a working dinner." And he
Hmm.
goes, "Oh, but it's so good, it's so beautiful, it's this vintage." And she goes, "Okay, I'll have some wine." And she gulps like 4 or 5
She's
glasses
going
of
to town
wine
on him,
so
yeah.
quick, and he's so down to keep pouring for her.
Yeah,
Like
he just
he
keeps doing
loves
it.
it.
He looks over at one point like surprised, like, "Oh shit! Oh, well, let me get that for you."
Yeah. And so essentially what happens is she gets drunk at the dinner. She's involved in the conversation at first, and then eventually everyone starts excluding her from the conversation.
Yeah.
And so she picks up a steak knife and starts stabbing into her arm.
No, 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 no,
And
no, no, no. So before that, she's grabbing at the food.
oh, that's
She's
right.
like, it's
Yeah,
weird,
she's having this dissociative
like a
thing
thought.
where
Yeah,
yeah, where it's not it's almost like implying like it's not her harming herself, it's just her body doing it
her
to
body's
itself.
reacting to it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like she literally, you just see her hand like almost like crawl up to the plate, and then it starts grabbing the steak and shit. Like really, like you see those memes. It just reminded me of this, like where they're aggressively holding the like thing like from McDonald's, like they're holding the Big Mac thing. It's like
I have not
squeezing
seen
it.
that.
Yeah,
That's
it's
hilarious
like
though.
an internet trend
Jesus.
where they're just like, oh, it's just a bunch of like people holding food and like gripping it tight, like white knuckling it. That's what this reminded me of. But yeah, she fucking slapping her hand. She's like, no, 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 don't do that. We don't do that. Like we know how to act in public. And then like eventually I'll let you fucking do the reveal. But oh my God, when I saw that, like the way it's revealed is fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah, it's like her body is just like drawn to the flesh.
Yeah, yeah.
And and so like to stop herself, she like eventually we see that the hand is just completely detached from her body.
Yeah, dude. It's like in the shot, the way that that is revealed is fucking insane. Like I said, because like the whole time we've seen close-ups on her hands, like her
Hmm.
grabbing it, like and pulling it away, and then we see a full body like side shot from the table, and you just see the hand just like detached, sitting on the plate on the side of the plate. I was like, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, and
So cool.
She like it's also like green. It's also
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
discolored,
Yeah.
as if it's like the arm of a corpse
Hmm.
as well.
Hmm.
And she's just sitting there and no one's noticing her having this like dissociative episode. It's very
Yeah.
Mike.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
this
yeah,
scene. It's
for
very
sure. This whole scene, you're completely right. Yep.
it would like wouldn't be out of place in a lot of his movies
Yeah.
having like this moment. It feels like very Ichi the Killer kind of like how Ichi or Kakihara are
I was
feeling.
even gonna say it feels like not, maybe Suicide Squad or like Noriko's Dinner Table, like how it's very like
Suicide Club. You said squad.
oh, Squad, yeah, Squad, yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah,
no, it's just
Suicide,
very
yeah,
funny. It's funny
yeah.
my brain going from thinking like, oh, you mean the Margot Robbie to no, you mean the kids jumping in front of the train.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's I felt like it was one of those. Like it was really kind of like the horror in those movies was kind of like quietly revealed. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Not like splashy and over
Yeah,
the top. It was just really very like
exactly.
yeah.
That's precisely what I mean is like that weird sort of reveal, but it even had like sort of some of that visual language to
Oh
it
yeah,
in a way,
very
like the
much so.
grainy darkness of it.
Yeah.
Um, and so she's just there feeling invisible, feeling detached,
Yep.
and she takes the arm and puts it on her lap, and at this point we see it like rejoin her body, and she just starts
And
fucking
she starts
poking
with the
into
knife,
it
dude.
with
Like
the yeah, with the
it's
steak
with the
knife.
steak knife. It's so fucked,
She's
dude.
like dragging the blade across it. She's poking
Hmm.
it in. She's trying to just like sort of put it in the skin and like pop
Yeah,
it
like
back
pop it back
open.
up.
Like,
That's the thing though. Like that's when I started. I was like, oh man, the elasticity here in the skin is fucking really making me uncomfortable.
yeah, I don't know if it's just
Like
whatever they use for like the props
the
or
prop or
what it
something. I don't know, dude.
is.
Or like if she actually has the EDS, you know what I mean? Like, because it is
Yeah.
very. I'm talking like it's rough to watch because of that. Because you think at any moment the shit's gonna like penetrate, but you don't actually
Yeah.
see the knife penetrate.
It's interesting because it's making me wonder, like, are these knives a lot duller than I think they are?
Right? That's what I was thinking.
I was like,
I was like, wait.
I probably shouldn't do a for science on this one.
Yeah, exactly. She does. That's this entire movie. Is she's doing it for science. She is a scientist.
God, I'm something of a scientist myself.
Exactly. It's so funny.
Now let's work a lighthouse reference in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, and so she's just full on self-harming at the dinner
Yeah.
table, and no one notices. But what they do notice is how weird it is when she puts her suit jacket back on.
Yep. And she says, "Oh, the AC's a bit strong."
Yeah, and she like has the knife in her sleeve, and then she excuses herself to go to the bathroom, ends up like walking through the
She
back
goes to
area.
the wine cellar area.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she's just like fucking around in there, drops the knife.
Oh, that's where we get the like cover though, because she's like dragging the knife into her arm, and then she just fucking fully bites into her shit, and like that's the image that a lot of people see of
I
this
think
movie.
that's when she goes back to her hotel room after. Yeah, that's the very next scene because
I think it's right before she ducks down. She's like she's standing in the doorway, and she's like with the knife, and then she like you because that's how she's lit. I remember that because I was like, oh, that fucking lighting is
Oh
great.
yeah.
Yeah, she just like
She
biting
does
into
start
herself.
sucking on it there,
Yeah,
but it's she gets back to it in the next scene. She
yeah,
starts
for sure.
here, then she does it more in the next one.
Resumes later.
Yeah, and then this poor waitress walks
Oh,
in
I
thinking
know,
she's
poor
just
thing.
found a crime scene.
I know that was so fucked up. I love the way that the author of that chapter put it that somehow this woman becomes the victim and the oh my god oh my god holy shit
Perpetrator?
perpetrator, thank you, that was the name. She becomes the victim and the perpetrator of an entire Texas Chainsaw Massacre in the course of
Yeah.
this film.
Yeah, and this is about where she really gets into it. So we had
Yeah,
13 minutes at the dinner, and then we have about another 8 to 10 minutes in
the
the hotel
hotel,
room
yeah.
of her just carving her arms up
Man.
and but chewing on her arms, and
She's doing it in
she
the hallway,
she
lying down
she yeah,
too.
she lays back and then contorts herself so her thigh is in her face and then digs into her
Starts like
thigh.
biting into her shit, dude.
Back in my day we practiced on our hand, but not to this extent. Not to this extent.
Oh, good. That was excellent.
God,
I will say that my favorite part, these were my favorite part, and that's just fucking wild to say. That's a wild sentence to say, but I loved these scenes in particular because there was no score. There was
yeah.
zero fucking sound besides the sounds that you're hearing her digging, and I
It's
was
it's
like, oh,
it's crazy looking back at it on a timetable level to go. The dinner's 13 minutes and
yeah.
then the hotel is 10 minutes.
Yep. Yeah, it feels longer. Feels way longer for sure. And
Yeah,
that's what
it's
I'm talking about. It's like doing shit in private in a hotel that you're not supposed to be doing in public. You know what I mean?
I
Like
can, I'm a man who can admit when he's wrong. I can see it a little more now because it's very sexual the second time she does it.
Oh yeah.
When she does it the first time, it's just animalistic and fucked up.
It's
But
more into a place of curiosity.
when she's like straight on like fucking
She goes slack
creating a
jawed, like she fucking her eyes are rolling back. I was like, God damn.
yeah, the way she's like tonguing her leg is
Yeah,
like,
dude.
yeah, it gets very weird.
It's the oh god,
Like,
okay. Is this the equivalent? So what she's doing in the hotel room is the equivalent to that rumor we all heard about Marilyn Manson when we were
oh, that's
kids.
funny. Yeah.
She removed a rib to fucking bite her leg.
Oh, God.
Oh shit, yeah. She
What
gets into it though. She definitely gets into it here.
she certainly does.
Hmm.
So then it's funny because there's just this hanging question. Every time she starts destroying her body, I'm just like, hey, so you do happen to know a female body inspector.
Stupid ass.
Like there's a guy you get naked
Fucking
in front of fairly regularly. Like you're gonna kind of have to address
oh,
what's
that's
happened
so
here.
dumb.
She drives to his house, I guess, because they don't live together yet. It's like
Yes,
weird because they're
they don't.
constantly
They're talking about
together.
moving in the whole time, but yeah, they don't actually live together yet.
Crazy to be like, for our first place, let's buy.
That is, I know, dude. I was like, geez, the French just do it different, I guess. What the fuck?
You're killing me because there was a joke on the Workaholics podcast about Blake saying, I didn't know New York did it like this." You basically
That's
just
hilarious.
paraphrased
That's
that.
hilarious.
The
Exactly. I didn't know
French
the
do
French
it
they
different.
do it differently, dog.
That's that's like the fucking Dr. Thunder of
That's
that
so funny.
catchphrase.
That's so
The
funny.
French do it different. Um,
Oh man.
so this to me, this is absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
She like drives home, sees that he's already on the phone mad with somebody, and she's like,
Dude, she's like,
I don't want to walk into that.
I better go
I'm
fucking crash a car.
I better go stage a car accident. Yeah.
Shit's crazy.
Cut to
Oh,
her letting the car crash into a tree and then like ripping her clothes up
yeah.
and like putting dirt all
And
over
then she
herself.
like she's like
The
falling.
fall was so
Dude, that was
funny
crazy. I was
too.
like, what the fuck? Like, what are you doing? She just like she's like actually trying to fucking throw her shit on the floor.
And then the he comes and the ambulance she's sitting in the ambulance and she's just smiling like
She's
crazy, huh?
I was like, shit
Crazy,
was
huh?
wild, crazy night,
Dude,
wild. How was
you
your?
know
How are you doing?
he, he's like, "What happened?" And she's like, "You would think I would have time to have thought of that." Right. Yeah.
Yes,
Um stuff.
yeah, straight up. I was like,
Um,
girl, you could have gotten that story straight like way before.
she was like, "Me no drive so good."
So good, dude.
but with like a big smile on her face the whole
Yeah, the whole time
time.
she's really grinning. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like it's very childlike in that sense too, where she's just like, "Oh, I
Yeah.
don't know. Like I don't know. I was just doing something and this happened and I'm just a widow baby." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
She said, I saw this road thing, a kind of sign. I lost control and went over.
yeah,
See,
it's
I
just like
tore my trousers. And then
so fucking strange.
he keeps saying they need to x-ray their head, which is just like, all right, so obviously you didn't go to med school.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So funny, dude. Oh man.
God. And then of course because now it's her left leg. So her right leg had been
Yeah.
fucked up, and now her left arm and her left
Oh
leg
man.
are fucked up, and
The
he's
way
like,
he rationalizes it is
yeah.
crazy.
He's like, it's like almost the same exact place. Like you must
Hmm.
have been laying there for a long time, and she's like, yeah, crazy, huh?
Yeah, and I don't know how the fuck you explain the teeth marks, my guy. How the
Yeah, the
fuck? I was like
obvious
the
teeth,
blatantly teeth marks on her.
blatantly teeth marks.
I was like, what the fuck? Sure, yeah, it was a rock. I don't know. Insane
It's
shit.
I think this scores him another point on the douche meter though, is he wakes up and she's sitting in the dark in the bathroom in the middle of the night, and he says like it's gonna be okay, like it'll heal, and she's like, no, I shouldn't have been drinking. And then he goes, you couldn't know, cut out the drinking, cut out the problem. Basically,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah. Like,
he does have a tendency to like really simplify things and
yeah.
think that if he just tells her what to do, it's like it's done.
Yep.
So I do think he's a douche, but I do think he's like kind of a well-meaning douche who's like really
It
trying to hold this
he's a
relationship
douche.
together.
He's not maliciously doucheful. He's just, ignorantly doucheful.
Yeah, some people just suck despite their best
Efforts.
efforts,
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and it sucks that that's true.
Yeah, no,
I thought of
100%.
some people. It
No,
made me sad.
yeah. Some fucking
Made,
faces
made me
pop to your
made me
head.
really sad. As an adult, you kind of have to hit a point
Uh,
where you go, you know what? If I don't like you, I'm not going to your house. I'm sorry.
exactly. Oh my God. Fucking amen, my brother.
So the reason I called what she did plane car accident
Oh
is
yeah, I want to hear this story. I'm very curious.
when I was in high school. This is like easily one of the dumbest things I've ever done in my life. But
Ooh.
I had a friend who had I don't even remember what like the make of the car is, but it was an Outlander
Mm-hmm.
was the name of the
I
vehicle.
see. I see.
It was like a big SUV.
SUV. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so my friend Chris drove that, and it was just such a large car. I think I might have been the one who like came up with it. We're just, getting high, driving around, being idiots. And I was just like, guys, we should play car accident. So everyone in the car except for the driver is just moving around the car as if they're being thrown around in a car accident. It's the worst thing I've ever done. It's not smart. And one time we were doing this, and my friend Dan,
God.
not different Dan,
Different dad. Okay.
different Dan, big douchebag, he ended up in the front seat as we were doing all of this, and he was facing the back. And as all of this was happening, Chris happened to see like something in the road and slam on the brakes. And so Dan shattered the windshield shield from inside with the
Oh,
back of his head.
holy shit.
And I'll be honest, I think him being a giant douchebag might have been after that. I like looking back, I think there may have been a
You
connection.
had the villain origin story fucking in real time. You're just like, what the fuck?
You don't often see a windshield shatter from the inside, man.
Yeah,
That's not an
crazy,
everyday
dude.
occurrence.
That's
Like
crazy.
fucking A,
That's a
dude.
wild story, dude.
But that's what I thought of when she
That's
when she
fair. That's fair.
staged,
Yeah.
and then she like threw herself on the ground.
That's good.
I was
Yeah,
like,
for
yeah,
sure.
she's fucking playing car
Oh, that's
accident.
so funny, dude.
Again, you can't help but notice that the pitch for French Extremity movies is you want to see this lady do some weird shit.
Yeah, 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 for sure. And I do. I always do. The
And
answer
I do.
answer's always gonna be yes.
Um, so she goes into work the next day, and French Paul McCartney tells her that her professional behavior was lacking. Tell me I'm wrong, bro.
Yeah, 100%, hundred
Tell
percent.
me I'm
That's
wrong.
so funny, French. Oh my
He's like your professionalism was
God.
lacking.
That's
You embarrassed me in front of the Maharashi.
the fucking cadence. That's so good.
Don't do the same in front of the Dalai Lama.
That's so good, dude. Yeah, he
Um,
basically just fucking like chastises her and fucking.
I gotta say, some of the clothing in this movie is like absolutely excellent.
Dude, I'm glad you brought that up. Her wardrobe is fucking awesome.
Yeah,
She
a lot of
genuinely
it's
had. No, yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
pretty good, but this leather trench coat that she
Yeah, that
has
trench coat was the look. Yeah.
is
Yeah, that
fire,
shit was she got that shit on, bro, for sure.
fire,
Yeah.
bro.
So good. Yeah, and I
The
was like
scarf.
it's interesting too because like in the beginning I noticed that they really made it a point to point out the costume designer too. Like the credits in the beginning credits, they showed the
Mm.
costume designer's name like pretty prominently. I was like, "Oh, okay. I'm gonna keep a lookout for that." And then sure enough, yeah, yeah, her fits delivered, dude. She looks really good.
Fucking her and Vincent are walking down the street talking about the new house that they're gonna get after she gets
Yeah.
chastised by her boss.
Yeah.
They're talking about the new house and she says, I have to go to the ATM. And she goes
This
to the
was
ATM.
fucking crazy.
And it's so funny because what she does, like working at a place with ATMs, when you take people up, you have to like when they need help, you have to go, "Hey, I'm gonna look away while you like type in your PIN. So t like tell me when you're
Yeah,
done."
yeah,
You know? And his etiquette is like so good. Like and it's just so
yeah.
funny because if I went up to the ATM with Amanda, I'm probably just like staring at what she's doing.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
also looking around a little bit just to make sure no one's like behind us or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But it's not like it's like that private. So it's just so funny how like she completely trusts that like
Yeah, yeah. He's
he's not gonna
completely turned
look
away. Yeah.
for like so long. And
Yeah.
she pulls out. She's made
Oh,
little potato chips of
dude.
herself.
Yeah, herself.
She's got me jerky.
Meat jerky is disgusting.
And again, I'm a guy who can admit when I'm
Uh,
wrong. It is very weird that she's like trying to use chapstick on the skin to like keep it alive.
is that what that was? I
Yeah,
I
she's
thought she was gluing. I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
no,
Oh,
and
okay.
I'm only realizing now retroactively because of what she's gonna do in a couple of
Later on.
scenes,
Yeah, for
but
sure.
she's trying to preserve the skin
I see, I see.
somehow.
That's yeah, yeah. So I
Which is
got that
like,
later.
you know what preserves the skin? Not carving it off of yourself. You know, it
Yeah.
makes it very skin-like and healthy,
Yeah, exactly.
not being rent from your body.
Oh,
Um,
dude. She has it in a little like tissue paper or something like that, just folded up in her wallet. So that's what she like takes it out as she's about to
yeah.
use the ATM. But it's just like fucking oh man. And again, that's like kind of the thing of just like seeing that and remembering like, oh man, I need to get back to that at some point. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like her little like note to self, get back to this.
Yeah.
You know?
And then she starts crying because the skin is like falling apart
Yeah.
and he's like, "What's wrong?" And she goes, "It's my wretched PIN number. I can't remember it," which is so funny. She talks like she's fucking been adopted by Daddy
Yeah.
Warbucks. Like that's just such a weird way to speak,
Yeah, yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah.
Um, and then he's like, "Oh, well, I remember it," and types it in. And we cut to them later that night with a bunch of bottles in front of them. I don't know if they had dinner, but they definitely had drinks.
Oh yeah.
And he's smoking and telling her like, I can tell something's wrong. And she's like, "What, wrong with you?" And he goes, "No, I'm a normal guy. I'm not crying in the street because of my ATM pin. Like, I'm not the problem. It's something I don't know about. It has to be something
With
with
you.
you."
Yeah.
And she tells him, "You always look for meanings."
Yeah.
And he says, "Maybe I do." And I do think that that is her breaking the fourth wall a little bit
Oh yeah.
of being like, there doesn't really have to be a meaning. There doesn't really have to be like a huge thing going on here.
Exactly. Yep.
And then I said to Amanda, I said, must be nice not to have pets because he just puts his cigarette half out on his food and leaves, and they just leave everything on the
Yeah.
counter
Yep.
and go to
I said
bed.
not have pets. That's good.
I was like, once in a while, it must be great to just be a total piece of shit like that. Like,
That's so good.
instead, we have to clean absolutely fucking everything
Everything.
up.
Yep. Yep.
God.
So funny.
God. Her next outfit is crazy. The long coat with the like gold foil
Oh,
shirt.
dude, that's what I'm saying. It's just drippy, man. Like fucking, she got
There's
that
a lot
shit
of
on.
a lot of
It's a lot of dripping. There's a
yeah.
lot of dripping in here. Yeah, for
It's
sure.
interesting too because I mean I try not to look at the runtime, but I
Mhm.
definitely thought this next scene was going to be the end of the
I,
movie.
I thought so too. There was like, yeah. There was kind of like this lull that happens where you're just like, oh, okay, like we're reaching the
So
end here, and then no.
So we both thought the same thing was going to happen, right? When
Uh,
she's like walking through the store and she's like dissociating
yeah.
and no one's paying attention to her and then clearly she starts to like go numb and like
Mhm.
feel faint and then she's just staring through the doorway at the light and I was just like, "Oh, she's going to collapse because she's been doing all this to her body and she's not doing anything to take care of
Yeah,
herself.
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah,
you hit an end point, you know?"
yeah, yeah.
I thought she was just gonna collapse and
Just
die.
collapse right there. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I didn't. I was just so like ready for whatever was gonna happen next. You know what I
I
mean?
just, like you said, because of the lull and everything
Yeah.
and the way it focused on like the light through the door, I just was like, oh yeah, going towards the light.
For
Like
sure, for sure,
she
for
like
sure.
really hyper fixates as her vision
Hmm.
starts to
So
like,
blur. Yeah.
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 Um, and so I'll just kind of explain what happens next, and then we'll talk about like the delivery
Hmm.
of it all, because this is like the final 20 minutes of the movie, which is crazy to like again kind of put it into that context.
Yep.
When we get like this split screen that's going on.
Oh, dude, that was some shit. That was some Gaspar Noé shit, bro. Like, I was like, oh my God, I love this. Like, again, the French do it different, man.
Yeah, it's like this split screen thing going on. It's
This
like
is the very
again
last bit of the movie you're talking about?
it's pretty close.
Okay,
There's
okay.
this and then another
'Cause I think there were
scene and
two
then
split screen scenes, right?
it like stops being split screen for a minute and then it goes right back to being
Okay,
split screen.
okay.
Um yeah, so she like buys a camera and all these
Dude.
things and she's just fucking flicking the beam that is the
Yeah.
knife against her skin. I mean,
Oh, fuck
I
it, that
can't
was
even I
great.
can't even fight back at this point.
That was
Um,
amazing.
this is the part
Yeah.
she's like cutting her scalp line. She's like
Yeah,
poking
dude.
into her eyeball through her eyelid.
Dude,
She's
it's
dragging the
fucking
knife
rough,
across her
man.
face. Like again, if there was just like someone doing this to her, like it
Hmm.
would still be disturbing,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but it would like feel like to your animal brain, it would
Yeah.
make sense of like, yeah, people do that to other
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
people.
Like the evil that men are capable of. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
when you're doing it to yourself, like you said,
Yeah,
it's
the
such a
evil we
like
are capable of.
it's such a short circuit, but she just has like a fucking just like a junkie party by herself. She's
Dude,
like
she goes
eating
in. She's
cat
like,
food.
yeah, yeah. I was like, what in the fuck is with the cat food? Like,
I
what?
don't know,
I
dude.
was still, yeah, I still don't understand that. Like, I
She's either
still don't.
eating it or like smearing it in her wounds or
I don't
something.
know, man.
Like
Yeah, because
I
she's
don't
drinking sodas and shit. Like, she's fucking. It's so weird.
it's
She
so
allows
strange.
herself to just go feral. Like, in the most primal way, she just goes feral on herself.
Yeah, and we have this like split view thing going on, which I think, like you said, the whole like victim and perpetrator, like
Hmm.
she's watching herself and the one perpetrating it, but
God,
but
yeah.
the views don't even line up in the way where like one is through the camera and
No.
one's obviously her eyes. It's
It's
just
so fucking cool
it's
how they
it,
did
it's
that.
it's like two montages happening at
Yeah, yeah,
once.
yeah, and they happen to overlap at some point. We're like the same, like they'll be looking at the same
Yeah,
exact thing, but
but
from
two
like
points in
slightly
time.
different angles. And like, yeah, they're
Yeah.
just kind of overlapping it. So it's so fucking good,
God,
dude.
when she marks on her leg where she's gonna take the skin from.
Dude, the fucking little like rectangle, I was like, oh shit. It's so crazy. But like, okay, like that's the thing. Like when I saw this, after all of the other scenes of like the self-harm and everything, this was the one that stood out to me. And this is gonna be weird to say, but this was the most beautiful. Like this was like the most artistic point of the movie, I think, for me. When I saw it, I was like, oh, this is her
You mean when she becomes full goblin?
full goblin mode. Yeah,
When
exactly.
she's
Like,
like peeking around the bed and
yeah,
spitting
dude, the
water on
fucking
herself?
yeah, dude, it was so good. Like, I loved the because it was just someone completely surrendering to themselves, like,
It's just it's just infinitely funnier to me than someone saying, "Hey Marina, I want you to take your foot and take your big toe and your pointer toe and like pinch your nose shut with them." She said that to herself. And
yeah, yeah,
that's just really funny to me. Like
yeah, dude.
it's a really good performance, but it is just really funny to like just the origination of the thought of like, and now you're gonna lick the bottom of your foot. Like, okay.
Now I'm gonna do it. Catch it, catch it, catch it.
All right, guys. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna start doing a bunch of freaky shit. No one call any authorities. It's all on purpose.
Yeah, dude, like I don't know. I really do like this was just her completely again, like allowing herself to indulge in these fantasies and stuff. And I think that was like that was the most beautiful thing to me to watch was just her kind of having this full realization about who she is and what she wants, you know?
But I just don't think she even realizes those things. I think it's like again very similar to addiction where it's more of an escape than like an actual realization
Hmm.
where it's just like if I do this, I don't have to do all the real life things
Yeah,
that I don't want to do. So
it's like
it's
it's like a form of her escapism, but it's almost like an attempt again to get literally back in touch with her own body.
yeah, but I just feel like it's ultimately a depiction and the point is that she is doing it wrong.
Hmm.
That like like this is the bad way of going down this path
Mm.
and that you know there's a middle ground between hacking yourself to pieces and
Yeah,
going
yeah,
through the motions of everything that you hate, just like you said, taking it to that extreme
yeah, yeah,
to make the point.
yeah.
So I definitely like I don't feel like this movie is like self-harm is dope.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, 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 no.
I think it's like there's reasonings
Yes.
and there's you know adaptations in
Hmm.
your mental framework that are taking place, and even when there's not really like a reason happening, like a big concrete traumatic
Yeah,
thing,
yeah, yeah. Like an
like
event that kicks it off. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, like it's just her doing this the wrong way when what
Hmm.
she should really do is just have confrontations with these people. But that's not easy to do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's hard advice to give somebody.
Yeah,
To be like,
exactly.
well, why don't you just confront everyone that makes you unhappy and tell them and work on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're putting a fucking lot on me, dude.
Yeah, yeah. Like I like to believe after the movie that's what she kind of becomes capable of is confronting people in that way. Like I like to again, I like to believe that that's where it goes because of the fact that she's doing so much self-exploration quite literally that I think at the end that's kind of what that signifies is that she's gotten to this point of the of finally accepting herself in this way or accepting that this is what she likes to do.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
I
And I
have a
don't think
slight
that's right. I don't think again, I don't think it's right at all. I just think that
uh
that's just what it is. It's
I think
the
after we got hit for the Helena episode, we just have to be very clear about our opinions on self-harm. Like
Oh,
you
this
under
one's getting demonetized. No, this is we've
big
said
time,
that way too many times for it to not. Yeah,
bigly.
for sure.
But just in terms of like you can understand why something happens
Yeah.
without glorifying it, you
Exactly. And
know?
I think it like that's what that's what Marina did is that she kind of used the self-harm as a method of storytelling. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like with it, with she used it as a vessel to convey this kind of like message of like self-discovery and stuff like that. And like, what if we looked at something that is inherently bad to do as maybe some way someone's journey, literally to the journey to find themselves, you know what I mean, through that method of exploration, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, and I do think that the movie culminating in this, and this scene is so gorgeous because they're not showing you all of the violence and everything. They're showing you like like little micro shots of what's going on. So they'll show like bloody like footprints or bloody handprints and stuff like that. They'll show her reaching for like the can of soda, drinking it, put it down. They're like showing little things until they finally show her looking at herself in the mirror, how she's doing it. But like, it's so like beautifully done. It's just so beautifully depicted. I don't know. Like I said, there wasn't any part of me that was like disgusted at this point. I was just fully here for this movie at this point. Like I was just fully enveloped in this.
Yeah, I was squirming like hell.
Yeah.
Um, so there's only a couple more scenes in the movie
Yeah.
left. She goes to a random pharmacist who knows way too much about like skin.
I love
She
this.
it's so funny how this is
So
played like a
funny.
normal
Yeah.
conversation. She's like, I
Oh,
had
well, if you
some
want to do that.
Yeah, she said I had some bad skin removed and I want to like keep it. Like, what should I do? Do you have this like paracetamol or something?
Hmm.
And he's like, no, I wouldn't like have anything for that. But what you
It's
should do is
illegal to
tan.
have that. That's
Oh,
what
is
he
that what
tells
he
her.
says?
Yeah, no, he says no one, you can ask a pharmacy for it, but they're not going to give it to you because it's illegal.
Mm. And
Mm.
then he tells her like what you need to do is tan and cure it. And he like explains the whole like
He's
tanning
like, hey,
process.
you could use this chemical. Like, I'd try that if I were you, you know?
Sometimes I'll tell people at work like, I'm the only person in here that would like know this thing about skateboarding or movies or music or whatever. Like I'll have someone sit down and be like, I'm in an orchestra or whatever, and I'll be like,
Hmm.
oh,
Hmm.
whatever. Similar. You like this is the one pharmacist who's gonna give you this fucking step by step how to fucking tan and cure a piece of
Literally
your own
step
human
by
skin.
step. It's so good, dude.
God. And then she goes back to the hotel and calls her work to say she'll be in at 9 the next day.
Hmm.
And she uses like a CD case to tan the piece of skin, and she falls asleep and wakes up and it's this little piece of leather, and she
Yeah.
like holds it
She
to her breast and like puts it
puts it
inside of her
inside of her
bra.
bra, and then she like cups her boob and like starts kissing it.
Yeah,
Which
very.
I thought like that made me sort of emotional, dude. Like I was just like, oh my God, like that's so sweet. You know what I mean? Like I genuinely loved how they showed that. That was such a
I
beautiful
I
little thing.
just I just thought this woman's crazy.
Yeah, for sure. No, and like and I get that, but that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I mean is just she finally got this piece of herself preserved, and she finally has this like thing that she can look at, and she like knows that that's who she is essentially. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? If that makes sense. But like that's kind of like what I gathered from that, and then like her kind of kissing herself really to me solidified the fact that she's finally found who she is. She's got that connection back to her skin, quite
Yeah.
literally, you
And
know?
then she goes to leave, but then we get the fucking my least favorite shot from Drive 3 times in a row.
I loved it, man. I didn't mind it. I was just like the music and everything going on. I was just like, fuck, man, this is a good ending. It's a good ending.
After the first time I was like, I get it. I understand.
Then
We're
they're like, run
done.
it back twice.
I was like, we get it. Personally, my interpretation, she's fucking dead. She
You
didn't
think so?
get she has just been absolutely fucking hacking at all of her
Yeah,
limbs
she's been going
over the
at it.
course of this film. And then the way she went in the hotel room, like she has just lost so much blood over the course of this movie and
Yeah.
sought like very, very minimal medical intervention. and that's what I thought was going to happen when she was shopping before, that it was just going to be her body's
Just
breaking down
collapse.
now.
Yeah.
So I think she like found that
Mm.
and then died. I think it's like very martyrs-esque of like she
That's
finally
an
found
interesting
that
read on
that
that.
that moment of like sublimation, and now she gets to escape from her job and her friends and her
From her
boyfriend
life.
in a way that doesn't hurt her at all, but it's gonna hurt all of them. So like
Wow.
it ultimately just ends up being a movie about suicide. She just killed herself, and it doesn't always have to be like crazy, understandable reason.
Hmm.
Sometimes you just get the urge to fucking kill yourself, and
Yeah.
sometimes you do it, and sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
And this is just a lady who one day had
She's lost the
the,
battle.
those urges and just did it. And I don't think she started thinking that she was suicidal or going to kill herself or
Yeah.
trying to escape all these things. But I think in that last moment, she kind of like holding that piece of skin was like, all of this is worth it because of this feeling that I've gotten out of
Mm.
it. But ultimately, getting that feeling, she died for it, and
It
now
like cost.
everyone else,
Yeah. It
yeah.
cost her her life. Yeah. Yeah.
And so now she gets to avoid the confrontation with
Hmm.
everybody, which is like, I feel like it's not a necessarily a generous depiction of suicide, but like it is a very stark one
Yeah,
of like.
it's bleak, but it's like understandably bleak. Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like one of those where like you're upset because of what you're watching, but you're not upset at like what they did or like how they depicted it. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Yeah, I agree. I didn't like I never thought about that itself. I just like I said, I really found the ending to be more of a happy one where she found this notion of self and found like this connection to herself again, you know what I mean?
And there is, there is that element to it, but it's also just the real world where it's a web of ripples and
Oh yeah.
consequences where like, yeah, her finding that feeling though means that everyone else in her life is going to have to feel like absolute pain now, whether it's
Mm,
whether it's she died and that's it, or she's become this person who's obsessed with harming herself now.
yeah.
Either she died
Yeah.
there or she will eventually.
Yeah, that's I didn't even you're
if
completely
if
right.
she keeps cutting off
Yeah.
pieces of herself and trying to preserve them and things like that, like,
Mm,
and so like it does make sense to me to like if she survives that, for him to go, I can't move in with you, I can't
yeah,
be with
yeah, yeah.
you, like you're
Which
not
is
mentally
ultimately what
well.
she would have wanted.
And
You know
so
what I
it
mean?
it
So
it
it's like,
does it does seem like, and again, like, it's complicated because
yeah.
again, I was suicidal for a long time. I understand the mindset, and I don't feel that suicide is like the coward's way out, or however you put it,
No,
but
I don't.
it
Yeah.
is a solution for you, but not a solution for everybody
Of
else.
course. Yeah, it's
Y-
not and
You
it's
know?
not a it's not a selfish act at all. And I've always like pushed back with people when they talk about that because I mean, I've lost plenty of friends to that and family members and shit. So it's like I don't I always say this. I always say they just lost the battle.
Yeah.
That's it. Like there's
It's
no other way to put it. Like there's no blaming,
yeah.
there's no nothing like that. It's
Yeah,
just some
and
people cannot win, you know?
yeah, and I don't blame them for it. Like you said, it is
Exactly.
losing the battle. It is making the wrong choice in that moment. And like when I was doing life insurance, that was something I would say. People be like, "Oh, what if I kill myself? Do I not get the life insurance?" Yeah,
Hmm.
for the first 2 years, because it's a momentary act. It's a momentary urge. You have the worst day of your life,
Yeah.
and you think about jumping off a bridge, and you either do it or you don't. You
Hmm.
don't say, "Oh, I'm going to buy this insurance policy, and in 2 years I'll jump off a bridge."
Hmm.
No one who says
Hmm.
that really jumps off a bridge 2 years later.
Exactly.
Either you have the urge and you're going to do it right now, or you're not. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a momentary impulse, just like what she's going through, that you either follow or you don't. Sometimes you just
Yeah.
go, man, I wish I was fucking dead, and you either act on it or you don't.
Yep, exactly. Like
you
sometimes
know?
sometimes you just lose the battle. And that's what I'm saying. I have no ill like feelings towards anybody who has committed the act or has even thought about the act. It is understandable, like very, very sad that it happens, very upsetting, but it is just a sad fact that some people cannot cope with life,
Yeah.
you know? And I didn't,
Yeah.
yeah, like I didn't have that reading on it, but I actually do. I now that you even put it that way, I do kind of share that sentiment. I do kind of see, I definitely see what you mean by that at the ending, and it reads as that too because it's also like the repetitiveness kind of reads as like sort of a limbo sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like being stuck in this same kind of like pattern. You know what I mean? Which is kind of what she felt like in her life. So
Yeah,
you know what I
she's
mean? It
she's
kind
either
of
gonna keep repeating it until she dies, or this was too much for her body. But at a certain point,
yeah.
it's
Something's got to give. Yeah.
it's gonna give out, yeah, from
Yeah.
this continuous fucking abuse, you
Yeah,
know?
for sure.
So
For sure.
yeah,
Yeah, man.
I
Ugh.
don't know if I would say beautiful, but
I do. I do,
very,
man.
very interesting movie
I
in a lot of ways.
I would like to read a little excerpt from the chapter if you would allow me.
Go for it.
So, this
From
is we've been talking about this article the entire episode, and it's actually
the
called
book.
the book. Yeah, from the good book. I have it right here. It's this book. It came from the closet. Queer reflections on horror. Um, this chapter was written by one Jude Ellison S. Doyle, and they have such a fucking beautiful read on this movie. That's what I'm saying. I feel like the ending like was just gorgeous in the way that it was like depicted. But I'll put it this way. So she takes her body apart because she's trying to get back inside of it. She's not trying to kill herself. She's trying to prove she's alive. When we cannot put ourselves together, we tear ourselves apart. This is true no matter who we are, no matter what reason we have for not fitting into the lives we're given. Esther never explains why she needs to destroy herself, yet the answer is always right in front of us. Why does any animal chew its own leg off? Because it's trapped. And I couldn't agree more with that read.
And
I think
and
it's a
I think that goes hand in hand with what we've kind of been saying the
literally
whole
what we've been
time.
talking about. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what she's doing. And that's what like really strikes me is the worst thing and it's pretty bad. The
Hmm.
worst thing is that her best friend doesn't say anything when she needs help.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
But in terms of like a reason to do all of this to yourself, that
It doesn't feel like a good
it doesn't
enough
feel like
reason.
enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So but that's kind of the point is that this is like it's not, you know, because I mean, fuck, dude, there's been times when you're suicidal, it like is soothing to be like, oh, well, one day I'll die and I won't have to deal with this.
That's exactly what everyone talks about. Yeah.
Sometimes you just go, man, I wish I was fucking dead. And then just saying that makes you feel better.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's maladaptation, you
Maladaptive.
know?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's no good brain.
Yeah. Yeah.
No
Yeah.
good brain, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um but yeah, it like everything's so okay, and that's like the one thing, and that's not even the thing that's actually driving her.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just that her boyfriend isn't the right guy for her. It's not that he's like this horrible villain piece of shit douchebag that we hate.
Hmm. Hmm.
He's like got some good points and ultimately like probably they should just see other people.
Yeah.
But he's trying so hard to make it work and she's just wishing that he would fuck off already.
Hmm. Hmm.
You know,
Yeah,
it's
man. I just think like the depiction of the at the table I think was the most with her at the dinner table
yep.
with all the clients.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up. Please
Yeah.
continue.
No, no, I was just saying that was the most like that was the best evidence for her feeling disconnected for everything, from disassociating from literally
Yeah.
everything. You know what I mean?
To me that was the thesis statement of the movie, which is
Oh
that
yeah.
when you self-harm and you do these things, and this is what I said to Amanda last night, is like even when it's right in front of your face, it's just not polite to comment upon. Even if you want to help somebody, if someone has, you know, like scars on their
Yeah, track
arm.
marks, yeah.
Like it's not polite to be like, "Oh, hey, I recognize those.
Yeah.
I've dealt with that or I know someone who's dealt with that. Are you in a good place now? Like
Yep.
would you want to talk about it sometime?"
Yeah.
It's just not
It's just
polite to
not polite.
do.
Yeah.
So it's just like the way that so many people who self-harm is just right in front of all of our faces,
Yeah.
but like society it kind of demands that we just don't say anything. And
Yeah.
even you just wanting to consider that one person's feeling, it's like, yeah, we're at the beach and you're wearing short sleeves. Like you're fully aware we can all see it.
Hmm.
It's just not comfortable for anyone for us to like bring it up.
Yeah, and I think that's the with him in the back of the ambulance kind of rationalizing. I think that's kind of that is encompassing exactly what you're talking about is that like oh it must have been a long time ago or it must have been a whole thing, you know what I mean, like
Yeah,
it's kind of like rationalizing that away.
I feel like I've heard people before try and be like, "Oh, they have cats." And it's like that's not
Yeah,
like
oh
that's
wow, yeah, that's you like I've
like
never heard that said out loud like again besides overhearing it between other people, and
yeah.
yeah, you're completely right. Yeah.
I'm in like a pretty healed phase right now, but my cats love to wrestle with my hands. So
Oh yeah.
usually
Underneath
usually I
my
have
entire like underneath my tattoo of Mallory was I used to call it her
yeah,
gallery of pain because she just fucking yeah, she would just tear at everything.
you can see like little tiny scabbies on
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
But
for
but
sure.
you know what I mean? So it's like
Hmm.
yeah, I thought that that was like very poignant about that scene
Very
was like
poignant.
just the whole like it's just not polite to talk about, so you can literally do it in front of me and I'll just kind of go, "All right, so how are we splitting the bill?"
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Who
You
wants to get
know?
a drink? Yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, that was really unprofessional of you. Instead of being like, hey, you were like cutting yourself up. Do we need to
Yeah.
like talk to a
Yeah.
therapist?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just not
Mm-hmm.
fucking comfortable to say that to somebody. We just
Yeah.
expect people to go like take it upon themselves to go into therapy, but also like
Yeah.
whose responsibility is it? It gets complicated.
100%. Yeah, it's very, and I think again, the complexities of this film are what made me adore it so
I
much.
I definitely, I do have to admit, I do see a lot more of the queer reading of the film and of, certain things in there. Just having just watched it
Watched
yesterday,
it again.
I
Yeah.
was like, I just didn't really see any of this. But
Yeah.
going through it again, it's like I said, I kind of need it to be pointed out sometimes, and I was so busy seeing my own things in there, you know.
No, 100%. And that I think that's what like is so beautiful about this show too, is because we have so many different reflections or different perspectives on the things that we're watching. And so we just see different things, you know?
I just wanted to be clear that it's just like I just didn't think it was in there.
Oh no,
Not that I care about that being the
yeah,
specific
no,
interpretation, you
A
know.
hundred percent. I'm glad that I was able to send you over the chapter and you were able to read it because again, like I really do appreciate that we were both able to kind of come into this with that analysis, written out for us. I like that we were able to connect things here, and it
It
made more sense for you too.
I think the masturbatory thing too, it does come down to like this lady would really rather fucking play with a knife with her
Yeah.
pussy than
Yep.
fuck her boyfriend
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and still thinks that there's hope for this relationship
And I mean,
or is trying to force hope for this
we didn't even talk
relationship.
about it, but like, yeah, some of the knife shit in there, I was like, oh, fucking, they're just showing knife play. Like, it's just like it's there are kinks definitely like on display in this movie, and I'm like, it's not. Again, it's not in a way that they're portrayed very explicitly, but they're portrayed enough to be like, I'm aware. I'm aware of how this goes. But
I
yeah, I
I
didn't.
know what happened here.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Somebody
like
cooked.
yeah. Someone's hard.
Somebody fapped here.
So
It
yeah,
smells like laundry
that's
detergent.
disgusting. What the fuck? God damn it, Chad.
That's just what it smells like to me, man. I'm
That's
sorry.
fucking disgusting. Anyway, do you have any trivia that you would like to give us, or would you like to move on to the ratings? Because this is one that, you probably could guess my rating for already, but you know.
I think it can be
Yeah.
guessed pretty easily. Um, Man, every time I try to search for in my skin related
The
things,
is it the under the skin?
no, it's bringing up some TV show.
Oh, interesting. Skins?
Yeah. No, no. In My Skin is
No, I know,
also a
but like I was like the TV show Skins?
no, it's
Oh, weird.
also yeah.
Yeah, I was like that's the only one I could imagine it would come up with.
That's so funny. The yeah, there's not a lot of like
Like trivia on it.
easily accessed trivia. The only trivia is that the boyfriend is also in the film Raw and how weird it is that he's in.
Oh, he totally is. He's the dad. Oh my God, I forgot. I was like, where the fuck do I know this from? That's so funny. Yeah, he totally is. Oh my God, I can't wait till we do Raw on this show. Oh, we're gonna do Raw on this show for sure. Oh, oh, beautiful fucking movie. God damn it, dude. Julia is such a goddamn good director.
What was the other movie that she did?
Titan.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it was something
Yeah.
sexually freaky.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
God, I wish I could find the direct quote, but I did see something that was just like it's just not really like there doesn't need to be a reason. Like
hmm
she just loses it. Like
Yeah, and
that's
I mean, and that's what I'm saying. It's like that's why I always come back to the thing of like your art is never your own once you put it out. Like I think leaving it open for interpretation is the sign of a good art piece. You know what I mean? In my opinion, I don't think it always has to be like whatever the artist explicitly thought or was like intentionally being like, hey, I want to say this with the work. It's like if we've got like again, this entire book is fucking exampled of that. Like there's entire reads of whole other movies that I never saw as queer. Never saw as queer. These movies, like the articles in here and like the way these authors kind of break it down is just like, oh yeah, the director probably didn't mean that shit because they're probably a piece of shit for like showing it this way, but like you were able to gain something else out of that, and that's really, I think that's really neat.
I mean I do find value in that. I just my mind works in such a way where I just feel like there's an objective level to everything where like someone sets out to create something and
hmm
there are pieces that they objectively mean to put in it. So I do feel like you're allowed to have interpretations, but at the same time when you know and this isn't dragging it. This is just to me a good example.
Yeah,
When Zach Kreger says there's no meaning to the AR in weapons.
yeah, yeah,
It
yeah,
was just imagery.
yeah.
So when people start going, well, to me it means this, to me it means that, to me it means that, it's like that's great if that's what you think it means, but objectively, truthfully, it means nothing
hmm
because the guy who made the thing did not put any intention behind it,
hmm
you
hmm
know? So like I there is that level of interpretation, but there's also a level of objectivity, at least in the way that my mind works. You
For
know,
sure. I mean, it's just like art is so subjective though. It's just fucking, you know what I mean? Like it's just one of
I
those things where like
I
I
think
get it,
that's
man.
I think that's why certain things that go into a level of like having a like up to interpretation ending,
hmm
like to me, I hate that.
hmm
Like
See, I'm a sucker for that shit. I love that shit, dude.
this has like some wiggle room,
Yeah.
but I feel like there's enough like blatant fact where it's just like okay, so like she either dies
hmm
or their relationship ends and eventually this leads her to death.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there's no there's to me if someone says, "Oh yeah," then she just like he understands and then they get married and they buy a house.
hmm
It's like no, you're just wrong. There's no way
I
that's what
see. I
that
see. Yeah.
happens after that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. No, no, that's what I'm saying.
It's
I get it.
there's sort of like things that make sense and things that don't make sense is I
Yeah, for
guess
sure.
what I'm
I
trying to
think
say.
I will say before we even move on to the ratings or anything, I will say I think a really good pairing with this movie is I Saw the TV Glow. I think a really good pairing with this movie is that one because I think both deal with very similar themes in two very different ways. Very different ways, but I don't know if you've actually seen I Saw the TV Glow.
Nope,
Oh,
we were gonna do
interesting.
it at some point and
Yeah,
then we
that's
didn't do
right.
it.
Yeah,
So,
me and Austin did that one. Yeah.
oh, that's right. I was
Yeah.
something happened.
Yeah. You definitely I think it's worth checking out.
Maybe when I went to Jamaica.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. That's probably what,
I don't
that was
remember.
probably it. But yeah, I think that, the themes explored in this one definitely also translate to I Saw the TV Glow.
I think Trouble Every Day is
Oh
what
yeah.
I would call like that to me would be the box set double feature with this movie.
100%. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That definitely is the double feature. If you want a weirder double feature, I think go to I Saw the TV Glow with this one. But yeah, that makes sense next to each other. It's Trouble Every Day for sure. For sure.
Yeah,
God, I love that fucking movie. Go listen to that episode too. We
they
had a
do it
great
different
time.
in
They
France.
do it different in France, baby.
We got to keep that going. That's got to
Yeah.
be it. They do it
Well,
different in
speaking of
France.
keeping it going, we gotta get out of here. So let's get to the ratings. And
The
let them know how we
the
rate.
the addendum to that would be they're pretty creepy in Japan. Um, so we rate out of 6 here.
Hmm.
It's our show, so fuck you.
Exactly.
And yeah, I would say I think I give it like a 4.
Hmm.
I liked it. I enjoyed it for what it was. I don't think I would ever watch it again. It wasn't one that I like enjoyed watching.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
liked the themes of it, and I do think it's like has a lot of artistic merit. But
Hmm.
I just don't think I would actually watch it again.
That's fair. That's completely fair. Four is
Oh.
generous for one that you wouldn't watch again either.
Yeah, I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
I definitely didn't hate it. There were parts of it where I was like, okay, this is just fucking dragging on. But I think around the
Hmm.
time that the dinner happened, I was like, I think I understand
Yeah, yeah.
what this movie's trying to say.
Hmm.
And the gratuitousness and the length of the scenes was like a feature, not a bug.
Exactly.
But yeah, just I don't know if I would sit through that again.
Sure, sure, sure. I mine's yeah, straight 6 out of 6,
Yeah,
baby.
yeah,
Yeah, it's that's
I
the
had a
thing. Like
feeling.
it is just one of those movies that I was so locked in on. I had absolutely no clue going into this what it was going to be. I had zero. I didn't look at a synopsis. I didn't look at shit. I just fucking looked at where it was playing, fucking hit play,
Same.
and it was. I mean, I went through the emotional roller coaster in the first like 20 minutes of the fucking movie, you know what I mean? And then it just kept going and I kept falling harder in love with not only her performance and like but just the themes of the movie. It was just like, man, I've talked about it before. Like I understand what it's like to not feel comfortable in my skin, you know what I mean? I understand what it's I understand what that's like. And so like being the fact that I'm so big into like body modifications and stuff like that. I am customizing my avatar. You know, and I think like
Hmm.
I am doing care that is self-affirming and
Is
gender
of the
affirming, you know what I mean?
self.
Is of the self, exactly. Like and it's like a lot of these things that like I inherently was aware of what was going on and what the characters were kind of doing and what the language of the film was trying to say. But again, I could feel while I was watching it there was something else underneath the surface, and I was like reading that book really tied it all together for me. It was just like, oh yeah, I knew there was something else, but I couldn't fucking put it into words, you know? So I think it was beautifully delivered. The fucking dude, we didn't really like linger on it too much, but the camera work, the fucking cinematography bangs in this movie, dude. It's so good. Along with the wardrobe, along with the score or lack thereof. I really like
Hmm.
the 90s ass music coming into it in the beginning. I was like, "Oh, word, time and place, fucking I'm right there again." Hell yeah. So I loved every aspect of this movie, and I do think it because there's so much to chew on there, I definitely do see myself revisiting it again. But you're right. It is one of those ones that it was just physically hard to watch sometimes. So I was like,
Yeah.
I cannot get through it like
I was moving my
right
legs a
again.
lot watching this movie.
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, I gotta walk. I just can imagine you just pacing watching this shit again.
Oh no, I stayed sitting down, but
Okay.
I was just moving my legs a
Yeah,
lot
just
while
tapping up.
sitting down.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of pulling my knees up.
You're trying to do what she did.
No. No.
But yeah, no, I mean, yeah, firm 6 out of 6. This is definitely one of the new ones that I like. I'm so fucking glad that we did an episode on this because I never would have heard about this movie if we hadn't done that. So very excited, loved it to death. What are they getting next week? Oh wait, that's me. I mean, I forgot. It's
Yeah.
me. It's me. Should I get? Well, should I tell them what they're getting next week then? And should we get out of
Yeah,
here?
do it.
So next week we are on episode 98. Finally, God damn, son, 4 years of this fucking show. We're hitting around 100 episodes soon. It's so crazy. We have something very excited to plan for 99 and 100, just so you guys know. Uh, but you are getting next time. We are getting Possessor. This is this is one I have literally put down in the fucking. We have a master list of movies that we go through, and this is one that's been at the bottom of that list forever because I've just been like, "Ah, I don't know if it's right now. Now's the time to do it. You know, fuck
Yeah.
that. Now is the time to do this movie. So, Brandon Cronenberg's Possessor. This movie fucking rips. Oh, I love this movie so much. Anyway, look out for that one next week. You can find us on Facebook at the Devil's Work Podcast. We're on Instagram at the Devil's Work Pod, TikTok Devil's Work Podcast, and the email is if you guys would like to send us your thoughts, concerns, questions, anything like that. It is the Devil's Work Podcast at gmail.com. We both we both stream on Twitch sometimes. It's fabled. Very, very tentative, but we're
So
hoping.
so says the old
So
lore.
says the old lore. So twitch.tv /sideshow PSY, spell it right. And twitch./skeptic mo. And yeah, you can find us on all those socials. Thank you guys for listening. It's been fucking this episode has been a lot, man. So this episode was a lot. I'm so excited for the next 100 with you.
Oh, don't talk nasty to me. Don't make
But
me start
yeah,
biting legs.
I think if that's all there is, I think we're gonna get out of here.
I think it's time to go. My
Yeah,
bladder's screaming.
yeah, exactly. All right, you guys.
Hey, just remember this September, maybe don't dismember
That was
yourself.
perfect. God damn, that was ooh. Fucking later, you guys. On that, I'm not talking shit.
Wait, no, I'm sorry. Leave him.
Girl, run.
Leave his
Leave his
ass.
ass.
It's
That's
okay.
amazing.
He'll cry, but he'll get over it,
I fucking love that.
and you'll both be better for it.
Oh, God, all right, you guys. We're out. Jeez.